Gotta shut him down. Gag the truth he spoke. Jimmy Kimmel's fire, but the suit's almost choke. Government shadows, FCC's dirty game, but the people's roar brought him back in the flame. And Jimmy cracked a joke too raw. ABZ bent the knee, suspended the show. Trump's FEC hounds car leading the pack, calling it hate speech, but it's freedom they attack. Dizzy cave quick, pulled him off the air, silence in the labs, cause they couldn't bear First Amendment bleeding, rights under siege, but the backlash hit hard, now they're begging please. Kimmel's back, they couldn't fucking hold him down. Free speech wins, smash the censorship crown. Right wing cry, yeah they playing damn fools. We call out the lies, break their bullshit rules. Back, Kimmel's back, ain't no silence, just truth in the text. Kimmel's back, ain't no silence, just truth in the text. Comments on Kirk, they say cross the line, but who the fuck decides what's yours and mine? Trump admin pushing via FCC threats, censor the critics, collect their regrets. Star sign petitions, fans hit the streets, The View blasted back, expose the deceit, not government bullshit. We see the strings, Disney's puppet dance, but freedom still rings. Kimmel's back, they couldn't fucking hold him down. Free speech wins, smash the censorship crown. Right wing cry, yeah they playing damn fools. We call out the lies, break their bullshit rules. Back, Kimmel's back, ain't no silence, just truth in the text. Kimmel's back, ain't no silence, just truth in the text. Emotional monologue, Jimmy's hitting the stage, talking about the fight, turning fear to rage. Sinclair and Next Star, Magazone still blocked, but the wind's in the air, we ain't stopping the clock. They try to race him, control what we hear, but the people's power made them shift gear. Back on Tuesday, late night, fire reignited. Kirk jokes echo, but rights undivided. FCC's facade, no pressure they claim, but we know the game, it's all the same shame. Disney flipped script amid the outcry storm. Hundreds of stars, keeping the norm, no more half measures. Fight for the mic, Kimmel's return, that's freedom strike. Kimmel's back, they couldn't fucking hold him down. Free speech wins, smash the censorship crown. Right wing cry, yeah they playing damn fools. We call out the lies, break they bullshit rules. Kimmel's back, ain't no silence, just truth in the text. Kimmel's back, yo, they try to muzzle the man, but he broke the chain. First Amendment stands through the bullshit reigns. We rap for the rebels, let the tyrants fall. Kimmel's legacy, freedom, that's the call. Kimmel's back. Kimmel's back. Kimmel's back.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome back to Hollywood After Dark, where tonight it's Free Speech 1, Donald Trump fucking 0. I feel good saying that. I do. I feel really good saying that. I have no problem coming on live and saying it's a good thing that the president got his shit pushed in by the First fucking Amendment, because I'm fucking tired of that weird Oompa Loompa looking fucking weird hand-having motherfucker and all of his goddamn lies and bullshit. And I'm just in general tired of the right wing and their lies and their bullshit. Like, there's one thing, with like playing the game of politics, I get it. But at some point in time, admitting you were wrong and being, I don't know, like a fucking human being is probably for the best. And of course, we're not going to get that. But yeah, I was a little late tonight. I apologize. I was watching the Kimmel monologue, which I'm not going to play because it's 28 minutes long. And ABC will clap my cheeks pretty hard on that one. But I do want to talk about it because there's some things that I thought he was going to say that he didn't say, or at least maybe I just didn't hear. And then other things as well. But let's check in on the chat. I'm sure some of y'all quite mad at me because I was so late. Again, I apologize. It's an okay song. F you. Not one of AI's. It's actually a good song. I like it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a good track. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Holy fucking shit. Let's see here. Please say that this is live stream is actually a troll job. Donovan and Brandon, you don't actually intend on going live. No, I was late. I was late. That's all I can say. I was watching Kimmel. And that's all I can say. I can't say anything else. I was watching Kimmel. Okay. But I'm in a good mood. I'll let you infer from that what you will. I'm in a very good mood. I'm feeling very relaxed. Again, you can infer from that what you will. Oh my God. Well, I do have to look at this though. I shouldn't give him attention, but he's here. It's been a weird day for drama because someone else in this community has had their own little speck of drama that I caught wind of. And, it's one of those, if you know, right? Or you don't know what I know sort of situations. So if you know that one, hashtag if you know, you know. But some shit there I found out. Kind of crazy, kind of wild, kind of nuts. Again, can't talk about it, but been kind of an odd day with that. Let me see here. Let's see. Horrible AI slob. Shut up, Parallax. Who got drama? Who don't have drama? You know what I mean? Right? Who don't have drama? CJH here says it wasn't me, I swear. CJH, you never really have drama, though you are going a little bit on the psycho deep side. I will say that, though. Music Man says, did Jimmy Kimmel apologize? I hope not. And fuck that orange makeup cunt. No, Jimmy Kimmel did not apologize outside of clarifying that he was, being critical of MAGA, but not saying that it was MAGA effectively. And that's really about it. Some are gonna say, okay, cool. Others are gonna be like, nah, dog. And he says that. He said in the monologue that he has no delusions that this is gonna change anything. People like him or they don't, and that's really kind of where it's at. But this will obviously be the best ratings he gets, despite the fact that the show is not airing in like 30 fucking cities in America. So, no, he's not giving any money. He's not giving any money. If you can't talk about it, then why bring it up and tease us? I don't know. But I'll tell, okay, fine. I heard through the grapevine that a former member of this community is as much of a narcissistic piece of shit as I thought that he was a narcissistic piece of shit. And since he never takes accountability for anything, the fact that his own kin came on out and made some comments about it and then clarified privately what some of those comments might be about and clarified some of the stuff that I already figured but wasn't entirely sure about. And it just goes to show you that let's just say it's not Donovan. Donovan is a narcissist, absolutely. That could be any of us. No. I'll tell you what. I won't say who. Just that they happen to be around for a while. They used to stream quite a bit. They don't stream anymore. And that's that. And apparently, they are a violator of the amendment that says thou shalt not steal. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. They will deny it. But if it's true that they violated the thou shalt not steal, and also thou shalt not cover thy neighbor's wife or covet thy neighbor's wife amendments, then if they did, that's bad. That's bad. And maybe they should not be a person you would look to as some kind of mentor figure, or I don't want to say like, anything. I don't know. That's all I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing. Don't know if it's true. Don't know if it's not true. Wouldn't surprise me if it was. But here's my saying to that. You know what? There's a reason why this person wasn't raptured. Let's just say that I have a feeling somebody here will probably say something, and I'm just glad I have that person's phone number blocked in my phone. But, you know, it is what it is. You think you know who I'm talking about? Nah, well, maybe you do. Maybe you do. Let's see. But anyway, there's a reason why I don't trust organized religion, and that person is a key reason why I don't trust organized religion. But yeah, man, the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, huh? His pantheon is in shambles. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea in what world you're talking about. What? I don't even know, Parallax. That's your opinion. I'm not saying that the pantheon has anything to do with it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that anything is going on. Spherical Man changed the subjects. By the way, I was thinking about him, and if when you're able to tell Chris I said hi. I haven't talked to Chris in quite some time. He hasn't come around. He hasn't DM'd me. I'm not in the DM group that we were in anymore, mostly because Fourth was in there dropping spoilers for weapons, and I left, and then like nobody brought me back, and that's okay. That's all right. Chris Borchert, am I saying that right? Is it Bochert or Bochert? Please correct me with the proper pronunciation. Saying here, Trump must be real mad. Oh, he is real mad, yeah. Unrelated, Enosh. I don't know why you're bringing up Enosh, CJH. That's such a weird thing to do. That man who runs a house of God. I wonder why you would ever bring him up. Such a weird thing. So odd, CJH. You trickster, you. Tried to defend Trump saying Tylenol causes autism. Yeah, right. Anyone who said, look, there's a small chance that taking Tylenol while pregnant, small chance that it could be linked to autism. It's like, it's very small. But right now, Tylenol is still the number one thing that is recommended to bring down the fever of pregnant women. There you go. Oh, here we go. Ooh, wow. Even wow. That is an avatar, Bowman. You got the Nazi swastika on the access. Good for you. You at least get that right. And it's surrounded by the rising sun of Japan, also known as just a starburst background. Is that your way of saying that you're pro-Axis? I don't quite know. But, anyway, he says here, Trump isn't trying to take away free speech. Okay. Sure, Jan. Sure. When you got the head of the FCC going out there and being like, the sure is a nice, late night show you got there. Sure would be a shame if something would have happened to it. You know what I mean? I can do it better than Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz made it sound like a weird Yiddish Russian. Well, that really is like a nice place you've got there. Yeah? It would be quite terrible if something were to happen to it. He sounded dumb. I can at least make it sound a little bit more, maybe a little more authentic. Yeah? Right? That's what I do. Anyway, I know he's an obvious troll account. It's Borchert. It's Borchert. I wanted to know how you say it phonetically. Okay, break it down phonetically. Is it two syllables? Is it like you pronounce like the French version of chowder? It's chowder. It's chowder. Chowder. Say it. It's chowder. Chowder. Anyway. It's a bullshit. Yeah, there we go. Oh my God. Anyway, let's see here. Just be careful to do your best and live life to the fullest. Yeah, man, you have to. That's why I get to leave in like a couple days and like go to Hawaii. I'm very excited for that. Very excited for that. Gonna take a nice break, come back refreshed, figure out some stuff I want to do. Let's see. So back to Enosh. Yeah, I guess Enosh and Tylenol. I don't know, man. I don't know. That man is wild, I guess. He got deep problems, but he also posts a lot of it publicly to his Facebook, which isn't doing him any favors. So to say, it's pretty funny, you know. But then again, look, if you've ever dealt with Enosh on anything, it's Enosh. I'm not saying it. H. Bartz is saying it. Matt's not coming back from Hawaii. If I could stay in Hawaii, I could. I do. I want to stay in Hawaii. I want to stay where you got the nice beaches and everything. I mean, if I could afford, to move my family to Hawaii, to live on the island, to become a beach bum while working on my stories, talk to you guys at night about movies and entertainment or just random other shit. That would be a fun night. That would be a fun life. I think that would be a good, fulfilling life. Let's see here. We all know it's Enosh at this point. I didn't say that it's Enosh. What do you mean, when did Enosh say all this? Check his... Well, like, the stuff going on with his son is a thing. His son basically posted that he doesn't live with his dad anymore, and he's no longer involved in anything his dad is doing. And he's an open book, and you can contact him and ask him questions. And then Enosh is all like, it doesn't matter what my son says. The boy is a liar. The boy has been listening to my ex-wives. The boy just doesn't want to do chores or pay rent. The boy is just a boy, but I am a man. I am a man of God. I am a man of excellent proportions in regards to how much I eat. And I am a man that does not do anything that is wrong. No, no, no. I am not fallible in man's eyes, nor am I fallible in Jesus' eyes, but that's how I believe. He's a fucking moron. Anyway. It's about family. Yeah, there we go. Like a lot of... I'm a diabetic, Tony, so I can't... type 2 diabetic. So I can't have a lot of pineapple, but I'm gonna. The same one that the Snyder cult attacked. Yeah, well, the funny thing, too, about that is that, like, he was running on that whole angle of like, this, like, you don't know what I know in regards to, like, the restoration of the Snyderverse. And he got really mad at me because I kept saying it's not going to happen, right? And it's been 4 years, and, I mean, like, I've been right? It was his bio son. So there's a lot of that, and so, yeah, like, it's just, he got caught up in it with some of those guys. And the funny thing about Enosh, man, is like, look, man, look, I ain't trying to speak ill of whatever. But when you go around and you're telling everybody privately that, like, you've got a guy who's like super mega hacker, and he goes around and, he can, like, hack into Andy Signor's Discord server, and he can hack into Ski Walker's Twitter account and see what, like, the private conversations are, and all of these things he was saying that this guy would do, because he would say that this guy would do these things and everything, and then never provided one shred of evidence to back it up. And, like, nobody wanted to question it. That was always the weird thing. Nobody wanted to question it. Like, because I think what it is, though, is there's this tribalism that happens where people, that are like, that you talk to or that you stream with all the time, you don't really want to, like, get involved in shit. So I think that worked. I think that worked for him in a number of ways, because people were like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to see that. So you get those kind of situations. But I think at the same time, Enosh is the kind of person that, again, he needs to stay the fuck away from YouTube. And honestly, if what I heard today is true, someone should, like, I'm not going to sit there and say anything about what should be done, because it's not my place. I will sit there and say that I feel like if I were to ever hear through the grapevine that someone tipped off the IRS, I would not be surprised if there was an audit that turned up something. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I'm not saying to do it. I'm not saying that I'm going to do anything. I'm not saying nothing. I'm going to forget about this as soon as we're done talking about it. But if down the road, if there were to be some kind of investigation and someone gets escorted out of their church in handcuffs, I would be like, that makes sense. You know. Let's see. Hold on. Every time mic drop happens, I think he might be a closet MAGA. Who, Enosh? Oh, here we go. We have more. Why are you lying about Trump? What do you think about Biden putting podcaster Nick Fuentes on the no-fly list? Yeah, that happened during the Trump presidency, right? That's the funny thing with these trolls. Is this I should be in handcuffs. Okay. I fucking love it, dude. Oh, Mic Drop is a show that Max and Voltaire. Okay, I don't even know. When I say skimming, do I mean stealing? Do I mean skimming off the top? I don't know what I mean. I just heard that was the word I heard was stealing. I don't know the context. I don't know. This is what I heard through a third party. So I don't know the context. Don't know if it's true or not. But First Amendment does allow me to report on things that I hear. I'm not assuming judgment. I'm not assigning malice. I hope it's not true, because as much as I am not a fan of Enosh, if he is taking money from his church, skimming money off the top, whatever you want to call it, and he is using that for his personal gain, I'm not a fan. I don't think he would do that. I also wouldn't be surprised if he did. Does that make sense? Because you got to pay for all those toys somehow, right? So he's just getting tidings. Ooh, there we go. This has to be a bot who calls Nick a podcaster. He's elevated above that. Yeah, I know. Remember back in 2022 when you, Max, and Enosh would stream at the same time, and most of the people in your chat would also be Max and Enosh's chat? Yeah, I remember. That was pretty funny. And then the community's gone now. So what can I say, right? The community's absolutely fractured. And I don't see it coming back. I don't know how to repair it, though, either. You know what I mean? I don't know how to repair it. I don't know if you can in the sense anymore of doing everything, right? Because it's like, part of it would be like, streaming, building a community going on from there. But at the same time, it's like, I can't stream every day. And I streamed last night because I was kind of bored, and Helldivers has not been working accurately. It's broken right now. But I've been doing the Hollywood After Dark on Tuesdays or Wednesdays for like the last little bit. So I didn't want to like miss this episode before I go on my trip, So there's a lot there. Let's see here. Don't worry, Jarbo. Simply believing in Jesus washes you of all your sins. Yes, spiritually, but not governmentally. Let us take a moment and pray for Jesus. No. Why try repairing it? Everyone seems to be content in their own little corners. No, that's very true. That is, people seem to be content, but I do feel it's like, the name of the game is always in some capacity growth. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like growth requires you to actually like reach out and like talk to other people and like go on other channels or something along those lines. There's this weird tribalism that happens with YouTube where like people have to kind of be friends with one another because like they're in the same niche. I might have mentioned this last night over on the other channel, but it's very true. You know what I mean? It's very true. Like when I met Enosh, I told him, I was like, oh, thank God, like there's another adult here. Because it felt like so many of the people talking were just like juvenile and childish. And I don't mean that in a funny way, because I'm juvenile and childish, but I think in a funny way. But there was crazy shit going on, you know what I mean? Crazy stuff happening. And I'm like, Enosh seems like a sane, fair guy, fair, level-headed dude in the room. And there was good conversations with Enosh. And I don't think Enosh is a bad guy, but I do think that he is a person who was groomed, and I say the word groomed because it's the most accurate term I can use, by his grandmother to become a pastor at the age of 11. Like, if anything, it's almost like child abuse to put a child in that particular setting and groom them to be the next generation of pastor for this, like, Echoes of Faith church or whatever the fuck the church is called. You know, and like there's a, you know, Enosh just told the story about when his grandmother took ill and she was running the church and the congregation didn't know what to do. And the congregation wasn't sure what to do. And they didn't know if they're going to be able to have service on Sunday. And Enosh, at like the young age of 11 or 12, right, steps up and you know, starts to issue orders and starts to plan the next sermon and starts to, you know, take over the congregation and do the duties of his grandmother while she is ill and recovering. And he tells this story like these adults were like fucking listening to him. You know what I mean? Like, these adults were listening to like a fucking prepubescent teenager tell them what to do. And they're like, yeah, okay. Like, this isn't Empire of the Sun. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? What do I think of divorce? Divorce is child abuse and should be illegal. I don't think divorce is child abuse, but I do think divorce when there's children involved needs to be handled very carefully. And by that, I mean with like therapists and weekly counseling sessions and active efforts to make it so that the child does not feel like it's their fault. What happened to the sex box that would always come in the chat? I don't know, man. The sex bots are way better than Donovan, I'll tell you that. Oh, wait, what did he even say? Hold on, I gotta see this here. I gotta go back to the top. Okay, hold on. We're gonna look at this here. All right, here we go. He just can't stop. If anyone has to resort to spewing platitudes to their opponents that they will die alone and nobody will love them, you just lost the moral ground, my friend. Guess what? I will not die alone. He's totally gonna die alone. He's totally gonna die alone. If you've ever encountered Donovan in any capacity, you're like, oh yeah, no, this guy's probably gonna end up dying alone. There's some people out there you can just tell, right? There's some people out there you can just honest to God look at and be like, yeah, you're probably gonna die alone. Here we go. I actually have people in my life who care about me and who I am. Don't know if a stuck-up, ignorant person like yourself can say the same. Yeah, I just had lunch last week with friends of mine that I hadn't seen in 7 years because San Diego in here, and we caught up and had a great old time. And I'm planning to go down and visit them. And they missed me, I missed them. I've been friends with them for 20 years. I'm going to take my children to the great state of Hawaii on a 15-day vacation to spend time basking in the sun, playing in the water, playing on the beach, and making memories. You're going to be at home doom scrolling Twitter and retweeting GIFs about K-pop demon hunters, hoping to God that Maggie Chain will see you and then ask you what you do. And you can be like, look, here's this drawing I made when I was 7 years old. And she'll be like, that's awesome. You can have a job doing K-pop demon hunters too. It's never going to fucking happen, my friend. It's never going to happen. You're never going to happen. Maybe Dua Lipa, I don't know, retweet Dua Lipa more, and maybe she'll want to pounce on you. Maybe Olivia Cook or whoever else, Sabrina Carpenter or some other girl, Sophie Carlson. I don't know. Some of the, you're a simp for so many women. I can't even tell. Every time I look at your account, I just have to laugh my ass off because a person who is as ignorant as Donovan and ill-educated tries. That's how you know, by the way. That's how you can tell when they're like, I am a supreme intelligence. Okay. Bro, you live in LA. Your mom does like, you live in LA. All right. Toss a stone, you're going to hit a hot chicken. But again, you spend all of your time on the internet and you complain about artificial intelligence while still producing nothing of your own. So if you have, by the way, if you've been working on it, please be like Brandon and actually show your work. And I won't even make fun of it. I will gladly and gleefully showcase it here for everyone to see that you've picked up a pencil, good sir. So do that and we'll talk. All right. Anyway, you say that I'm off it and I have no idea what I talk about. Well, you're right. I actually do my due diligence into anything I'm interested in. Actually put the work in research and not rely, lazily on AI most of the time results in highly inaccurate information or outright misinformation. The fact is you always have to use my mom as a crux for your insults is weak sauce, man. Actually, maybe try better insults. Oh, wait, AI writes them for you. That's actually good. I'm not going to lie. That's a solid burn. Not true. AI doesn't write my insults. My cynical, sardonic ass does. But that's a solid burn for saying, like, you use AI for research and it does your insults. That's good. Checkpoint him, okay? Point to Donovan. All right. I'm a big enough man to go, that was a solid burn. Nothing else you've said is solid. It's all soft like baby poop, but that's a solid burn. And then he keeps going. You say I will never amount to anything, but I have a tenacity and the passion and the drive to actually learn stuff like drawing, like animated, like web design, etc. Meanwhile, all you are is a failed director now that is clinging to Gen AI to compensate for your inability to be a creative person. Truly sit with that. Yeah, okay. I mean, like, I use Gen AI for fun and to help me work in ways that allows me to be quite productive. And I can do more with that in congruence with my creativity and my drive and my passion than you. Again, you have nothing to show for anything that you ever say. Like ever. Like ever. Forever, ever. Nothing. He's got nothing. Brandon, for all of his idiocy, for all of his, I know I'm going to summon him, I'm sorry, for all of his sock puppet accounts, he at least can sit there and be like, I've drawn this very weird IKEA version of a bunny. You know, he's at least shown his artwork, whatever you might think of it. You have not. Okay, so be more like Brandon. Anyway, sorry. Okay. All right, hold on here. Let me get to these supers here. Thank you, H Barts. Enosh in his boat. Anyway, ghosted me, Chris and Sag. Yeah, seriously, don't understand how someone cannot even send one word reply. I will fully admit, I can't say anything about that. He sent me like a whole novella of text messages, and I just blocked him and didn't read any of them. So you can't really, it is what it is on that one. Okay. Sometimes people just don't want to respond. All right. Like right now I'm arguing with people I've known for like 25, 30 years on fucking Facebook because I'm telling them, hey, listen, Charlie Kirk shouldn't have died, but the dude was a piece of shit. And they're all like, nuh-uh. And I'm like, here's proof of it. And they're like, you don't know the context. I've been hearing a lot of that. And I'm like, what context is there to, if I have a black pilot, I'm sure going to hope that he's, trained enough, right? Like it's, anyway. Also, H. Barts here, thank you. Says, Enosh caused the fallout with Max. He was there. The Skywalker thing is where it started. That was a big push for a lot of things when that went down. There was a lot going on at the time. Yeah, like Enosh was mad at Skywalker because he was told through his elite hacksaw friend that Skywalker and those guys were the ones that were trying to blackmail his son or his stepson, one of his kids. And, he was really upset about that, right? And then Max talked to Skywalker, and then Enosh got mad at that. And then I think Saggy got mad at that for platforming Skywalker, which makes sense because Skywalker sucks. And then in the aftermath of that, that's when Max messaged me wanting to talk to RJ and had brought up the whole fucking extortion thing, right? Or blackmail thing. And then that kicked off that whole situation. And I mean, I wasn't involved with the former of that, but I was involved in the latter of that because Max had messaged me and was like, hey, can you get RJ on the line? And all that nonsense. It was crazy shit. And I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it's over with, right? What is Astro? Is Brandon in the chat? I don't believe so. Be more like Brandon. Worst advice ever. No, Spherical Man. I just want to give him the advice to create more troll accounts for you to block because you're a master blocker. So as a dad, you can't blame him for defending one of his kids. Not at all, man. I don't besmirch him in any capacity for wanting to get to the bottom of this scheme that was happening to his child. Fuck yeah, man. I totally get it. Okay. But at the same time, it's like you got to think clearly and rationally. And when someone is coming to you and saying like, hey, I can get access to this stuff and then provide no evidence of that at all. He did the same thing with the Snyderverse shit, right? He did the "you don't know what I know," and then when cornered on it, said, "Well, I was really saying you don't know what you know, you know." And I'm like, "That's not what you were saying, though, dude." And so it's a whole bunch of shit. Even Sil Abdul, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, moved on from Restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, well, that was what I said too, man, because it's been 2 years since Mikey Sutton died. A little over 2 years. And I said when it happened, it doesn't track, right? It doesn't track with them. You know, like Mikey was able to pull in like the numbers with the website and all that stuff. Mikey dies, and Sil, his number one acolyte, or his fucking Padawan, if you will, ends up having no choice but to move on from those topics because he's got nothing to pull from anymore. He's got nothing that he's getting, you know. And he was right on the whole Affleck cameo in fucking what was it, Aquaman or some shit like that. They had shot something, so like he did hear that, and but he got that from Mikey. So it's like somebody had given Mikey something. And I don't know, like, you know, this is the thing with Mikey that I don't get. It's like, were there things that he like was maybe right about? Like, I don't know if he got it right or if he was told. But when it comes to the Snyderverse stuff, I think he was just making that shit up as a way to push his comic book, you know? And then the other co-publisher of the comic book, that dude was cool as fuck. He died about a few months after Mikey did. You know, just randomly one day fucking keeled over and died. His name was Tim, dude. Tim was dope. Him and I were chit-chatting before Mikey died and after Mikey died about Mikey. And before Mikey died, even Tim was like, fucking Jesus Christ, man. Like, Mikey needs to shut the fuck up. You know? And then, and then, you know, told me some stuff about the comic book. And the fact that Mikey had fucked over the people that had invested money into Dreamwalker. By the way he ran the campaigns and everything else. That's what I was told by Tim before he died, you know? And so the whole thing's a mess. It's like every time money gets involved, it's crazy. At least I inherited Enosh's number one viewer. Dude, here's the thing with that H-Parts. You weren't his number one viewer. He wanted you to be. Because you were my number one viewer and he was jealous. That's how it works. Also, Spherical Man says, weren't you the only one inductee into the Poindexter Lounge Hall of Fame? It's true he was. The crazy thing about that, though, Spherical Man, what cracks me up. Yeah, Music Man. Yeah. People die all the fucking time. You know, it's terrible shit. I don't like it when people die, you know. But no, the thing with that is when H-Barts turned 21, Enosh and Tiffany drove over to his house, like on the other side of Michigan, to go to his 21st birthday party. And he showed up with Arby's to make fun of the fact that like I did Uber. And like that was a running gag between H-Barts and I. So if you don't think that him driving all the way over to H-Barts' house, bringing him Arby's was in it, and then inducting him into the Poindexter Lounge Hall of Fame, right? Like everything Enosh did in regards to H-Barts, I'm not even joking when I say this, was absolutely positively a way to try to tear H-Barts away from watching because H-Barts was very generous financially. I'm not even making that up. Right. And I think even H-Barts, like, it would agree with me on this one too. It's like, I really think that that's the issue. And I feel bad to say that because like it was blatant as hell. You know, like, look, I like H-Barts. I would probably, if I lived in Michigan and he was like inviting me over to his birthday party, like, it'd be a little weird going and meeting his family. Like you walk in like, oh, hey, how's it going? And they're like, oh, hi, who are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm Matt. I'm from the internet. And they're going to be like, what? Yeah, no, that sounds bad. I'm from YouTube. Well, that sounds even worse. I'm a person your son interacts with quite often. He gives me a lot of money. Yeah, that sounds even worse. No habla inglés? Ah, shit, they speak Spanish. No habla español. You're You're not talking about my. Oh, yeah, no, he got Anthony. That's right, he got Anthony. Hey, Mr. Jarbo, how's it going, Matthew? How's it going, Matthew? Can you unblock me, please? Can you unblock John Campia, man? He's doing that now, by the way. Fucking Anthony Chabot has popped up again, asking me to unblock John Campia. I don't know John Campia. I've never blocked John Campia. I don't know what the fuck that means. But Mr. Matthew, hi there, Matthew. Can you please unblock John Campia? So, you know, CJ says, I was working at my job today. And I swear I saw somebody walked by the store that looked identical to you. It was trippy. Here's the thing, man. I've got that weird phenotype, okay? Like fat, rounded face guy with glasses and a beard that is a nerd-looking motherfucker. Okay, we're not uncommon. Okay, you go to E3 and it looks like a cloning facility for us. There's like the small, medium, and large versions, you know, and I'm like smallish medium, comparatively speaking. So yeah, I get that. I get that all the fucking time. Hell's Only here says, kicking Anthony out of here utterly broke that man. It's true, it did. It did. H. Rice here says, I miss Ryan Hart. Well, you know what today, man? I was cleaning out. I was looking for an item to take with me on the trip, and everything I had got moved into bins. And I'm looking through the bins, and I came across a letter that Ryan Hartwell had sent when he sent me some books. You know, and Ryan Hartwell, he left because I like AI. And I understand, but I'm also not going to change who I am and what I believe and what I like because somebody doesn't like it. Sorry, Donovan, I know you're here. Please unlight the fuse on your tampon and fuck off. But I do miss Ryan Hartwell. Ryan was a gentle, sweet man who was very, very generous and very, very much appreciated and a part of this community that I do lament having lost. But I'm still not going to change who I am and what I am and what I enjoy. You know what I mean? Like I have to hold true to me. And so that is something that I do miss. Yeah, your dad already, H. Rice here says, my dad already knows you exist. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. Fucking, Spherical Man won't like this, and Parallax will lie about it. But when and H-Barts can confirm this. So I finally 2 years ago convinced H-Barts to watch Avatar. He had avoided Avatar. Always thought it was shit. I convinced him to watch it because I was like one of the only people at the time going like, Avatar is going to make a lot of money, you guys. $2 billion easy. $2 billion easy. And everyone's like, no, Avatar ain't going to make money. No one cares about Avatar. I'm like, okay. All right. Number 3 highest grossing film in the world. So like, you know what? Pound sand, bitches. I was right. Anyway, so like H-Bart sits down with his dad and his mom to watch Avatar. And he texts me about like maybe I think halfway into the movie or something. And he just goes, my dad just looked at me and said, why the hell did we wait so long to watch this movie? It's awesome. And ever since then, his dad has been like, what does Matt recommend we watch? And apparently everything I've recommended, they've liked. Everything they liked. So that's the joke right there. That's the joke right there. What did Donovan whine about now? What did he say here? Hold on, Hell's Only. I'm going to get to you. Unlike Mr. Jarbo, I'm actually well-versed in, you're not well-versed or educated on anything. Boy, you are a child and a half. I love this. You will never know. You don't know everything, pal, and you never will. I know more than you. I can speak better than you. I can be more eloquent than you. I can enunciate words better than you. I am in every way a more polished speaker and a grander personality. That might make me sound like a pompous dickhead, but in this particular situation, yes. Your intelligence level is that of a gum stuck to the bottom of a shoe. And your Twitter feed absolutely backs that up. You literally are just a contrarian for anything I like. I'm like, hey guys, Avatar is going to be good. And he's like, no, Avatar is going to be bad. I'm like, you know what? The Mandalorian and Grogu looks pretty good. It looks like shit. It's going to fucking fail. Because that's all Donovan has is pure unadulterated rage. So which is why my honest recommendation, Donovan, my honest recommendation, I want you to go right now. I want you to take your right hand. I want you to shove it right underneath your leg, your thigh. I want you to sit on it for like 20 minutes, okay? Don't think about it. Don't move it. Don't do nothing. I want you to sit there and I want you to let it get numb and let it get tingly and let it be so you can't feel it. Then I want you to use it to jerk off your dick so then it makes it feel like somebody finally loves you. Can you do that for me? You'll feel a lot better. Expel the demons. Expel the demons from your nether regions. And you'll feel better. And that post-nut clarity might give you that weird one little moment of going like, oh my God, I'm the dick here. Expel them demons. Thank you. Okay. There's a ton of shit that makes money. It doesn't mean you're right. The Batman is a shitty movie that made some money. It doesn't mean it's good. I disagree. If the Batman wasn't good, everyone wouldn't be clamoring for it to join the DCU, which I want to talk about that. You know, I am more and more surprised at how many people are joining that conversation. It doesn't matter how many times James Gunn says it ain't going to happen. It doesn't matter how many times that Matt Reeves says it's not going to happen. I'm seeing people who I would think would never, ever, ever be involved in that conversation. People who like that Black Magic Man guy, whatever, like that dude's a dick. He's a fucking, and I don't like the guy at all. He's basically like like stolen valor type guy when it comes to the strikes from a couple years ago. But even that guy's like, yeah, merge him, right? Like the merge crowd is getting pretty loud. Because I think people just don't want another Batman origin story, or they just don't want another Batman to root for. They want one Batman, one Superman, one Wonder Woman, and that's what they want. And like James Gunn is stuck. I've fully said this. He's stuck because he knows what the audience wants. The audience wants there to be the connected Batman universe and the Superman universe. And I don't care. Make it a fucking prequel. Make it a prequel and shit. Okay. Have your older Batman, make it in the DCU, but make, the Batman, that epic crime saga, whatever the fuck it's called, make it a prequel, and there you go. Or just merge them and just call it a day and shit. But it's like now that you've got the multiverse type situation happening with Peacemaker, you know what I mean? Like they could open the door. And I don't know what's going to happen with all of that. I think Peacemaker season 2 is going to lead to Brainiac coming through. But it's going to be very fascinating to see. Nobody wants to merge. Here's the thing with that. Here's the thing with that, Music Man. Yes, people want to merge. It's not a fucked up continuity. Wow, RJ, you actually, what are you doing awake? Don't you have school in like a couple hours? I didn't even see that. And it is RJ because he's got a wrench because he's modded. Speaking of nuts, did you hear that the hub is going to be banned in Arizona? I don't know what the Pornhub is going to be banned in Arizona. Oh, is RJ? Yeah, I'll send RJ the link. I don't know why he's awake. Let me find RJ in my DMs. I haven't talked to, there he is. Okay. I'll send him a link. If he wants to come on, he can come on. All good. All good. Let's see here. Hold on. Is he done? Which RJ saying there? Which is why, if you notice, he's more focused on Superman fleshing out his corner of things, probably because he doesn't want to deal with the Batman problem until Reeves is done with this stuff. I mean, yeah, no, I get that. I understand that he's doing that and whatever, but it's like you can't. It's like it doesn't matter. It's still a ticking clock. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still a ticking clock. It's going to eventually be there, and you're going to have to deal with it. It better to be sooner than later. Speaking of Mando and Grogu, assuming Gina Carano ever returns to that universe, how do you think the chuds who cynically defended her will react? I think they would be okay with it. I think you get people that were upset with it on the, on the left, but I think they would ultimately kind of move the fuck past it. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like they would just move past it is what they would do. And I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest here. I think if they brought in Cara Dune to Mandalorian and Grogu, even I, as much as I criticize Gina Carano for the dumb shit that she did, would be excited to see her. Okay. It's like as much as Mel Gibson is crazy as fuck, It would be really cool if we got a Lethal Weapon 5 with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. Give me, Riggs and Murtaugh one last time. It's been over 20 years or almost 30 years. So I'd be down to see more from that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to sometimes separate the art from the artist. You just do, especially in this day and age. It's like I don't like Kevin Sorbo, but goddamn, if they were like, we're going to do a Hercules reboot, I'm like, fucking bring it on, dude. Bring it on. Okay. Bring everybody back. Bring them all back. Although the guy who played, there was an actor who played, I think Ares in that one. I think his name was Kevin Smith. Did he actually die? You fell asleep at 4 p.m. Oh, I got a full night. Oh, full time to sleep. Okay. You fell asleep early. Yeah. There he is. What up, RJ?
Hey, what's up?
Not too much. You went to bed early, huh?
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I just pass out when I get home. I'm just like, you know what? Oh, and I just woke up early. So
I usually do that before I go to work.
Awake.
What's up?
No, I said I'm actually like wide awake. I'm fine. Like I slept normally. So
Okay. And you got what? It's like, I don't even know what time. No, it's what? It's 1 a.m. over there right now?
yes, yeah, it's 1 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. But
So
I'll probably go back to sleep later for like another hour. I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's you're at the age where you can still do that. So it's although
Well, I was asking a serious question though. Why does Donovan Martin hate free speech?
Donovan Martin hates free speech because his mother is MAGA, and MAGA hates free speech.
Gotcha. So he's pro censorship.
He's absolutely pro censorship. Yeah.
Okay.
He actually said this last night on my other stream. I called him out because he was in that chat too. And he goes like, you blocked me. How can I contact you? Right. And I'm all like, you know that you blocked me first. That's what I'm talking about. Right. It's like that. He's like, well, you blocked me. But I'm like, you blocked me first.
So he wants to speak to your manager.
Yeah. He wants to Karen me. Absolutely. Yeah. He wants to do all that stuff.
Well, I was going to comment too on the you're talking about the Batman situation.
Yeah.
Do you think that perhaps that's why James Gunn is focused more so on Man of Tomorrow and fleshing out the Superman side of things, because that gives him more time just to let the Matt Reeves stuff kind of like
No, that's a good theory. That's a good point.
Go on. Now he doesn't have to worry about it.
I agree. I thought that would be a very good point. Here's my counter to that though. Like I was saying before you jumped in, it's a ticking clock. Regardless, it's a ticking clock.
Well,
they've already established that Batman exists in the DCU by showing us Creature Commandos. We don't know who he is. Gunn has teased, more about Batman, but we're still not getting it. I could see them having a Batman thing in the Man of Tomorrow, or at least maybe a Wonder Woman tease or something along those lines, building that whole thing up. But the downside of that as well is that opens in July, and the Batman opens in like October. And so having those movies so close together, come on, man, there's going to be people confused.
It just depends. I think you can get away though with two Batman if the casting for DC's Batman is like really good. Like if it's like an actor like everybody can get on board with. And you stun everybody. Like honestly, what I would do is I'd have Batman show up somewhere else first. I'd have him show up somewhere else where you're not expecting him to show up. Blow everybody away, and then
where
silence everybody. It's like,
where could they do that? Because you've got the next two films are Clayface, which is shooting and it's in Gotham, so maybe they're going to do Batman cameo in that one. They're not going to probably do it for Supergirl.
I would do Clayface.
Clayface makes sense. Yeah, Clayface makes sense on that one.
Because it would make sense, but also too, you have Batman show up in that thing, it's going to blow people away.
Well, it's kind of like when Ben Affleck showed up in Suicide Squad. That was a big deal. that little Batman cameo he had in Suicide Squad in 2016 following BVS was a pretty big deal back then. People were really excited for that scene because they wanted more Ben Affleck Batman. Like, regardless of what you may think of the movie, people really did like Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah, I think he was definitely one of the brighter spots of that whole universe. It's like, yeah, I mean, he kind of blew people away. Everyone was like pleasantly surprised by him. It's still crazy to me that he's the only Batman in Batman history to never get his own movie, which is crazy to think about. Um,
Yeah, well, I think they wanted to, but his alcoholism was a key factor in that.
yeah,
So, and that's why the Batman is just Ben Affleck's Batman, but with another actor, essentially. Because Matt Reeves was brought on to write and direct, because Affleck was working on the script, and they were going to make the movie, but then Affleck couldn't crack the nut. And so Matt Reeves came on in, and Matt Reeves
well,
was then
Matt Reeves
developing.
totally threw it out too.
Well,
Like the
yeah.
original script was about
Oh, sure.
Batman dealing with Deathstroke and Deathstroke coming back for revenge and killing people close to Bruce, and then like the whole Battle Arkham Asylum. That is not the movie we ended up getting at all. Totally
No,
different.
but I do think in some, but I think there are strands of DNA that went from one to the other. And, but either way, it's like, as you and I were talking about the whole merge thing, do I think they should do it? Sure. Am I going to be mad if they don't? No, because for one, I have no control. Two, I just want more Batman. For one, that new Batman game looks amazing.
The Lego
The
Batman
the
one.
Lego Batman one looks awesome. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that next year when it comes out, And it's like, even I was at Ross yesterday, and they had a couple of Superman 2025 like pieces of art there.
Mhm.
But then everything else they had was just all Batman. They had a really cool canvas. I should go back and get it. It's that one image of like Batman where like that is torn away at his mouth and it's replaced with the Joker's mouth. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I have, no.
I'm sure I'll have to go back and get a picture of it and show you. It's really cool. I really liked it. And it was like $20. And I was like, I'm going out of town. So I'm not going to do that. But I mean, like, there's a lot. Batman still is Batman. Everyone likes Batman. I think it's like they need to just like hurry up and figure out what they want to do with this thing, and then like stick with a consistent release schedule. But if it is true that Gunn is just trying to let Matt Reeves do his thing, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm still telling you that Man of Tomorrow is not going to make as much money as the Batman Part 2.
But that's fine though, because it's all going towards DC Studios anyway. Like they're like either way. I mean, Matt Reeves succeeding helps them anyway. Like it's not really like a net negative, you know.
No, no, no. I agree. I think it's like, I mean, I'll tell you this though. It's like I've been really enjoying Peacemaker season 2. I really want to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, how have
Uh,
you felt about it? Because some people have said like it's felt like 5 episodes of build up to where it's like if these last three don't deliver, it's kind of like, well, this season, like some people feel like this season wasn't like as good week to week as season one was.
I think it's been great week to week. The only downside, the only complaint I have for the season is what the fuck are they doing with Adrian?
I think that, yeah, Adrian, I'm hoping has more of a role in the last 3 episodes, but I feel like he definitely felt like he was thrown to the wayside.
He's got
Which,
no point. Do you want to quiz me on stingrays? Do you want to quiz me on owls?
yeah, I think again, it was just, I feel like James was more invested in what's going on with Chris and Harcourt this season
Well, yeah,
versus
that's a big
anything else.
yeah, that's a
But
big factor.
yeah, the side characters this season I feel like I've like not had much to do. But that's also the problem when you expand your show's roster to where it's like, hey, we have Frank Grillo, we have like the Argus stuff. Uh we also have Red Saint Wild because he wants to do an Elmer Fudd bit, which I mean I get it. I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about that premise?
That was like what? Okay. Like, all
It
right.
felt like it was just there for just to
It's a bit bloated of a season in some
yeah.
cases, like everything with was it Flurry, right? A black guy named Flurry. Okay, I mean, sure, it's Tim Meadows, and I love Tim Meadows, but it's all like the
Yeah.
whole bird
Well,
blindness thing was very stupid.
Yeah, apparently Tim Meadows' character, I didn't know this, but I guess he's going to be important to the universe going forward. Like, you're going to see a lot more of him pop up in
Okay,
places. So,
that's fine. I mean, I liked, dude, I'll tell you one thing. I really enjoyed the post credit scene in Shazam 2 when they got, Hardcore and Economos to talk to Shazam.
and that was
I thought,
literally a last minute addition because Peter Safran needed a favor.
no, I know it was, but
But,
I
yeah.
really liked it though. I'm like, if they were to find a way to bring like that version, to bring Shazam in and just have like them all talk a lot of shit, it'd be funny. But but at the same time, Zachary Levi is kind of, I don't think he ain't coming back. Nothing that came before is coming back. And that's okay. That's all right. I was critical of Superman, saw it. I've watched it a couple more times since then. I really like it. Have some complaints, but nothing that is bad. Nothing that would be like, that doesn't make me interested in wanting to see where it's going to go next. So,
Yeah.
that's how I view it on that one. And I'm enjoying Peacemaker. I really want to see more about this. Like, I think John Cena has shown that he's grown quite a bit as an actor.
Yeah, I would agree for sure.
And I want to see more with that. I just feel like, this is, they don't know. I'll tell you this though, the final couple episodes, they're all short. They're like 35 minutes or so. And I feel like that's not a lot of time to really make it all land, depending on what it's going to be. Because
Well, it depends because it's a comedy as well. So it's like you don't want to overstay your welcome. But I feel like, again, it's fine if the last three episodes deliver, which I think they will. I mean, this is just my theory. I don't think, I don't know anything ahead of time. But I think we're all under the assumption that, like, Lex Luthor showing up in this, right?
I'm under the, no, I don't think it's Lex Luthor. I think it's going to be Superman. And I say that
I think
because
it's Lex because if you
we're,
remember, Frank Grillo was like, "Oh, I got a prisoner I need to talk to." I'm like, "Whoa, that kind of."
yeah.
Like
I mean, that
this
would,
whole season's dealing with like the interdimensional stuff and the portals and everything.
yeah. And they're worried about the repeat in Metropolis, which makes sense. The other thing with that, well, but the thing with it is that there was a thing Gunn talked about where they were on two sound stages and they were shooting Peacemaker on one and Superman on the other, and he was like directing both. And there's those shots of like with Superman and like Danielle Brooks and shit, right? And there's like other things. So it's like they were shooting right next to each other, which tells me that they were definitely that there's going to be some crossover there. Whether it's
Yeah,
David Cornsweet or it's going to be Lex Luthor or it's going to be something. We don't know what they were filming on either, on the Peacemaker set.
that's the one thing I can't pin down. It's like, what exactly about the Peacemaker season 2 finale is going to directly set up Man of Tomorrow? Because that's what he said. He said there's something in there that directly sets it
Well,
up.
it's going to be Brainiac, and it's going to be one of the doors is going to lead to Brainiac, and that's what's going to
Oh,
bring him
like
through.
his plan or something.
Whatever the fuck, because they're just like, okay, let's bring Brainiac in because we know now based on what James Gunn posted with the cover of the script, showing the brain, it's pretty clear who it is.
Maybe that's what he wants you to think, though.
Maybe,
That turns out it's Mr. Mixopedalit.
yeah, it could be that, yeah, it could be Condiment King. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
It could be anything. And look, man, the thing is, like, if they can make it work and they can do it, then I'm down for that. I'm just like, Lanterns is going to be interesting to watch for a couple
That
reasons.
show I feel like is going to be controversial. Like,
Oh yeah.
guys.
Aaron Fisher is going to die
Well,
watching that
no,
show.
for the reason I say that is because, for one thing, it's going to be an HBO show, so it's going to be very much adult, very much a little bit dark and gritty. Secondly, because they've not shied away from this. It's Damon Lindelof, which he likes to explore more social political topics. It is from the Ozark people too, though. But we know for a fact that that show is dealing with like some small America themes. It's going to deal with some racism. It's going to deal with some um, sexual stuff too. So it's just like, plus two, it's also like why is our Lantern show a cop show where it's like it's in the middle of America, not in space? But I feel like if it's epic enough to where the Green Lantern stuff is like really cool. I mean, you're getting Sinestro. I think you're gonna get some Lantern action. So I don't know. That's like the one project like I'm the most interested in because it is just so different, but also too, it's like you finally get to see these characters in live action that we've been waiting for because Green Lantern's always been so underserved. So
Yeah, I mean Green Lantern kind of had such a bad outing that they kind of had no choice but to let it kind of languish for a while. And now they've reintroduced with, Guy Gardner, and now we're going to get, John Stewart and Hal Jordan. And so
yeah,
I mean,
which I'm
I'm
excited for Guy Gardner because I think Nathan Fillion said he said the F word more times in the Lantern set than ever in his entire career. So
yeah. I feel like they're trying to start small and then build up to big, but I will say I do agree with Aaron Fisher on one thing. And it's been kind of rubbing me the wrong way too a little bit. And that has everything to do with the maturity levels of this stuff, right? So it's like Superman, big screen, PG-13, a couple of shits in the movie, nothing too bad, right? Like family movie. And then it's like, but it's sandwiched in between Creature Commandos, which has full-blown violence, sex, and even necrophilia. And then you've got, Peacemaker, which has a fucking, orgy in the first episode of it. And it's like, and then now Lanterns is going to be this, HBO prestige show that's going to have the violence, it's going to have the swearing. You know what I mean? And it's like, what is this for? Is this for the general audience, or is this for a specific kind of audience? And
I think that is part of which is, I think it's a valid criticism for sure. I think the thing about it though is they are trying to make this creator friendly, but I think also too they're trying to show that DC can be a multitude of different tones and stylistic choices that you can go from Peacemaker and Lanterns to Superman and it's all still connected. It's all still in like one universe. Like this universe isn't just one singular monotonous tone, which is kind of like what I felt like the MCU fell into the trap to, where it's like it's not their fault, but when you have like 18, gosh, yo, how old is the MCU now? Jesus, it's like what,
uh
17 years?
it is, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like it's one singular tone that like it's one singular sort of vision just executed differently with different characters, which is fine. It worked for God, like 10, 13 plus years, but I think that it kind of can feel a bit monotonous, which is what I feel like they're trying to avoid with the DCU. And Marvel's also doing this too. They started experimenting more over time. The problem though is that when you try to experiment, when people like the kind of food that they eat, they don't like when you change the recipe. So people get pissy and they get like their panties in a bunch. But if you jump from the get go, where it's like, yeah, like we're doing different tones, different creators are coming in with their different ideas, and we can be mature stories or we can do kid stories,
Sure,
all
sure.
just under one roof.
So
It's fine.
so then let me quickly ask you a follow-up to that then. So then what is the argument with that logic in mind about against the Batman joining into the DCU?
I think it is just as simple as James Gunn is a creator's creator who understands the process of creativity. And I think it's just as simple of a reason as Matt Reeves just doesn't want to do it. So he respects him as a creator, and after it's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
So weird that they don't want to. I mean, I understand.
But
I
you
do
know what? The
understand.
same thing happened back in the day with Nolan. Remember, they were trying to get Nolan on board with the like doing a Batman with Justice League Mortal. He's like, nope, 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 nope.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. Nope. But you know what they did do? They had Nolan produce stuff. They kind of had to give him some creative input on like, hey, well, you want to help shape our Superman story? that's going to be dark and gritty and kind of like more uh in the vein of what you did with Batman. It's like, okay, sure. And what's Matt Reeves doing? He's producing stuff, both
Well,
for
no,
his stuff and for DCU.
that's true. That's true. Is he producing Clayface?
Yes, yes, he is. Yeah,
Okay, and then he also produced the Cape Crusader show, right?
yes, and he's
Okay,
doing the dynamic duo movie with James Gunn.
isn't that the one that's the animated film?
Yes, which I believe is also Elseworlds. It's not connected. That's just
Okay,
some
well,
kind
yeah,
of
that one. Well, that one makes
that's some
sense.
weird claymation project that they're passionate about.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that's again like this is, but ultimately again like this is where my issue is it eventually everything has to be under the same umbrella because that's what they're building towards. And I want to kind of get to this whole. There's a super chat from Rational here, which I want to bring up. So thank you, Rational. He says here, Godzilla -1 and Godzilla X Kong are separate universes, and no one got confused. Yeah, because nobody would get confused. One is Godzilla starting in 2014, Godzilla, King of the Monsters in 2018. Kong Skull Island 2017. And then you got, Godzilla v Kong 2020, Godzilla X Kong 2020, was it 2023 or 2024? Right? I forget. And then now they got another one that's coming on out. And those, so they've established the series. And then you get Godzilla -1 coming out of Japan with the all Japanese cast that is very minimalistic in scale. There is no one that would be confused at that. If it was an American movie called Godzilla -1 coming out around the same time as the other films, Godzilla v Kong, Godzilla King of the Monsters, whatever the fuck, then people would be like, hold on, is this right? And additionally, there was a low rollout for Godzilla -1 stateside wise. It was all word of mouth is what prompted that movie to do as well as it did. I wasn't planning on going to go see it until I actually saw Dave the Film Junkie talk about it. And he says, he's like, oh, I got out of watching it. And he's like, man, it's a Bigfoot movie where you care about the characters. And I was like, that's interesting. And he's like, you actually see the main character go through the change and be different by the end of the movie. And I'm like, that's interesting. And I went and saw it. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's fucking amazing. I love Godzilla -1. But yes, but but at the same time, when you're talking about Batman and Superman, that's different. That's different because a lot of people aren't going to know, because if they both have DCU logos in front of them, and I know there's apparently going to be the Elseworlds one in front of the Batman Part 2, but at the same time, everyone knows Batman is DC. They know Superman is DC. You have two movies opening up within 4 months of each other. I'm just saying there's going to be confusion one way or the other. That's all I'm saying.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know. Again, it is the biggest thing they have to sort of contend with and come to a head with. So,
Well,
I think that's why they're kind of just letting the Superman stuff be the focus right now, because that can kind of just be your foundation for your universe, and that's fine. I mean, think about it, right? I mean, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Iron Man to Iron Man 2, like how fast Iron Man 2 kind of came together, and just like you kind of like had Iron Man be your figurehead of your universe.
well, that was still 2 years though. It wasn't. They were always planning on bringing in the Avengers, right? They were always talking about building up the Avengers. They did Iron Man, they did the Hulk back to back, right? We're talking a month apart from each other. So May 2008 kicking off the summer, mid-June 2008 was, or maybe it was like the first week of June 2008, somewhere in there. 5-6 weeks later, it doesn't matter, was kicking off Incredible Hulk. And Incredible Hulk was a continuation of Iron Man in regards to the universe building, because we knew at that point that they were building towards the universe. Everyone knew that. Okay, cool. Then nothing in 2009, right? And it wasn't until May 2010 that we got Iron Man 2. And then again, nothing after that for a year until we got Thor. And then 2 months later, we got Captain America. And then 10 months after that, we got Avengers. And then nothing after that for a whole year until we got Iron Man 3. So it's not like everything was like so close together. They did a little bit, right? But they were also building towards something, and the audience got on board. That's what I'm saying. Is like if you have this stuff so close together, and it's not connected, audiences have been trained for that. So okay, we'll see what happens. I could be wrong. I have no problem with being wrong on the situation. I'm just curious to see what the response is going to be if all of a sudden people go see the Batman Part 2 and then the cinema score is like shit. And the reason why is because they thought it was going to be part of the, because it's so close to Superman. Right? Like Joker was 2019. Justice League was 2017. And then there was nothing in 2018. Well, no, you had Aquaman, right? And then early Shazam in 2019. But then Joker at the end of the year. And there were people that thought Joker was connected to the Batman because it had, or to Batman, because it had Bruce Wayne, it had the death of the parents, it was connected tonally. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like then Joker 2, everyone was like, it's not the same. It had been 5 years, and the movie just bombed. And now, did it bomb because it wasn't a good movie? Or did it bomb in part because people thought, they were like, it's not connected, why do I care?
Yeah. No, I like I said, I understand where you're coming from that perspective. It's just, I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see. But like I said, I think that, I mean, I'm excited for all that stuff that's coming out. So I mean, I'm gonna be there no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, yeah, me too. I mean, like, I am more hopeful for the future because I think, again, Penguin was amazing. The Batman I love as a movie. I love noir stories. I love that kind of stuff. I feel bad for 2023 DC with Shazam, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman.
Hey,
And that,
at least Blue Beetle survived.
I mean, it's been a couple years. Oh, that's who it's going to be, I think. I think Blue Beetle's popping up in the show. I think Blue Beetle's going to be in Peacemaker.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. It feels like that's the most, if they're trying to keep the budget low,
That's somebody you can bring in, yeah.
They're trying to bring in someone. It's like, all right, bring in Zolo, let's do it. But I know, but again, the movies in 2023 kind of prove my point about when audiences know that there is no future, they don't care. And I think that was proven 4 times over in 2023. It doesn't matter how much The Flash is a good movie. It doesn't matter how good Shazam 2 was. I like both those movies a lot. I think Blue Beetle was fun. I never saw Aquaman 2.
I still haven't seen Aquaman 2 either.
I just never, for what it was with me, this is how I get with this kind of shit. Like, is the baby in the movie?
Probably.
I don't care. See, that always ruins those movies for me. Like, even like Fantastic Four, when I heard that they were going to do the baby thing, I was like, oh, fucking shit. Already? Fucking shit. Because I just find it to be so pandering.
I remember in one of the trailers, the baby pees on Aquaman.
Okay. Rational says the baby's in the film. Okay. But I will say though, was it Franklin is the baby in Fantastic Four? What's his name?
Yeah, Franklin.
I mean, I enjoyed it better when I saw the movie in context and the relationship between, Reed and Sue. I liked their relationship. I liked the family dynamic. Like I liked that it worked for the movie. Even though they usually wait to introduce the kid till the next film, and they kind of leaned in to like the sequelitis approach to the movies right away, but it worked for Galactus. So I thought that was okay. I thought that was pretty good. And I really enjoyed Fantastic Four just in general. I thought it was really good. I'm surprised it didn't make any more money than it did. I was kind of surprised about that. But,
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure where you've gotten with I wanted to ask you this too. Besides the DC stuff, because we could talk about that like for hours.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Mando and Grogu trailer? Because I have some feelings.
So in my take on it, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either.
But I saw it for what it was, which is it's not a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, it's a Grogu trailer.
Mm.
And that was done in order because they know that's the moneymaker. Because they know that when kids see that trailer,
It's like, oh, it's Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, dude, my daughter was wearing her Baby Yoda shirt yesterday, and she loves Baby Yoda. Has
Okay,
never seen the
here's my
Mandalorian.
thing, right? And I have to agree. I mean, this is the criticism you're seeing everywhere. It doesn't like to me. It looks like a streaming movie. Like it does. Like, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. It looks like it'd be a great. It looked like a trailer for season 4. It looked like oh, this is the next adventure.
Yeah.
It doesn't scream to me. Oh, this is a theatrical movie event. I gotta go pay to go see in theaters.
Well, so okay. Here's the thing. For one, that trailer, in my opinion, is one that is older, meaning all the footage is older.
Well, yeah,
So
it
the
is. But
visuals are
also,
going to be a lot better.
well, yes, but like what I'm trying to get at is like, what is the story that you are trying to tell, and also to like, why should like, what makes this worthy of going to the theater to go see? You know what I mean?
True. No,
Like
that's a very good
but
point. I mean,
it's very hard when you have a pre-established streaming franchise or a TV franchise, and you have to convince people to go see it in the movie theater. That's a very hard thing to try and like do because you're trying to like get your audience to go from again one experience to the other.
yeah.
You have to convince people that this is worth paying money for versus staying at home to
If
watch.
well, and the problem though is that it's been almost 6 years since Disney Plus launched, which is weird to say that it's been almost 6 years since the launch of The Mandalorian. And when The Mandalorian came out, I don't know if you recall this, but people were talking to like Bob Iger about because the popularity of Mandalorian was just massive. It just hit right off the bat. And then they're like, are we ever going to see this on the big screen? And he's like, oh, maybe, right? They're kind of hinting to it. And then The Rise of Skywalker came out and just, it did over 1 billion, but it just didn't wow anybody. And then they put, there's already that particular kibosh that they had put on theatrical movies following Solo. So Star Wars at the time was in this weird space where its theatrical outings were kind of not doing that great or as good as they could have been. Their streaming service stuff was fucking knocking it out of the park. And then you get to like go and look at the season 2 premiere of Mandalorian, right? Season 2, was it chapter 9, I think? And that was the one where they take on the Crate Dragon and you get introduced to Cobb Vanth. And that actually felt like it was shot for IMAX. That episode is good. And Jon Favreau directed that episode. And so it's not like they can't do something that's going to be epic and it's going to be amazing and cinematic and very big.
Oh no, for sure. I don't doubt that Jon Favreau can bring with the technology and the filmmaking capabilities. Not at all. But again, like, how do I put this? When you watch the trailer, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it just looks like another adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there was
Well,
like another like it need like I think from the story conception, the way they need to present it, it's like what about this adventure makes it big screen worthy?
yeah. No, I do feel again my complaints with the trailer have a lot to do with the editing. It was not a good edited trailer. It wasn't well edited at all.
But
There's that
also, why is the trailer coming out this early?
Well, that's the other part of it as well, right? Jimmy Kimmel is something that I think because here's the thing. I think that they released it right before they announced that Jimmy Kimmel was coming back because they wanted people to have a reason to go and re-up their Disney Plus subscriptions. Even though it's coming to theaters, right? But you can go get 3 seasons of Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett right now, and Ahsoka season 1 right now, and you get 5 seasons of shows. Ahsoka season 2's on the horizon. You got Skeleton Crew, you got the Acolyte, you got other things Star Wars related that are on there. I mean, dude, what is it? What's dropping? Marvel Zombies is also dropping like in a I think today or tomorrow or some shit. So
Oh yeah, like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then that's going to be 4 episodes that they were wanting it to be a movie, but they cut it down into a TV show so they could get Spider-Man. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, originally it was going to be a movie, but they had to make it into a TV show because otherwise they couldn't use Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with that. right? I'm cool with that. I got no problem. But I do feel a lot of it had to do with that, where Disney's at kind of in a precarious place, and it could be as like either a distraction from like them kind of having to eat crow over the Jimmy Kimmel thing, because nobody is really mad at Disney for pulling Jimmy Kimmel now that they brought him back. You know, they're not, they kind of like, I think even Jimmy was kind of like, he allowed them gracious get out of jail room tonight. I don't know if you saw his monologue or not, but he basically kind of like absolved them of fault just because of the fact that this was government censorship, you know, and they were like kind of stuck in that particular regard, because they also have their own merger with like something involving ESPN that they're trying to get through.
Yeah.
But they
Well,
ended up,
it's always about something. I mean, that's why it's always about, oh, there's a merger coming up. We have to be very careful. It's
well, I don't like
I
that
feel like it's
either.
happened multiple
It
times.
is happy. Yeah. I mean, but that's, you know, I mean, that's also one of the reasons why Next Star is wanting Jimmy Kimmel off the air, is because they want to get approved for the merger, you know, to purchase Tegna. And so it's all about money, right? Just follow the money. And that tells you everything you need to know. But when it goes to the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, for one, I don't like the font that they used. It feels,
I get why they did though, because when you couple it with the poster, it's trying to harken back to like the 50s B movie kind of, or like
yeah,
the
I
50s
like
sci-fi,
the
like
old
yeah,
serials,
the
like
old
which is what
serials
Star
like
Wars is based on.
Flash Gordon and all that.
Yeah. No, no,
So
I get all that. I do get that. And like, but the thing is, like, you know the shot in the teaser that got me the most, that got me going, huh? Was when they got the AT-ATs, and this AT-ATs are walking, and like one of them falls and it like lingers on it for like an extra couple seconds. It didn't need to like linger. You know what I mean? Once it starts to fall, you can just cut it to your next bit. You've already like shown what's happening. Let the audience's mind do the rest of it. But
mhm.
it's meant to be a comedic beat. That's what they want. They wanted it to be a comedic beat, which means in the movie, they also want it to be a comedic beat. And I'm like, and I'm sure there's going to be context in the movie to get to that point. But it's like, I do feel that there is a lot riding on The Mandalorian and Grogu in regards to anything involving Disney Plus Star Wars content. Whereas the Sean Levy film being shot right now is going to be more towards, oh fuck, I don't know, man. I mean, like, who are they trying to impress by still going into the fucking sequel trilogy territory?
Um, I I think they're just trying to build a future for Star Wars. I think that's what that is. Because if the rumors are true, which I don't think they are, but let's play ball and say that they are, that Ryan Gosling's character is trying to protect his nephew because his nephew is force sensitive, and it's about the two of them going on a journey to get to Rey, to find
Okay,
Rey and find her
okay.
temple. That would directly connect to the Rey movie, which I think is what they're trying to do.
Well, I mean, if they are still trying to make it all connected and they find a way to make it
Which I
work,
think they are, because you
yeah.
have to make, like you were talking about earlier, you gotta have to connect some of the stuff.
You
So
don't think it's the fucking broom boy, do you? If they make it the
no, no,
broom
no, no,
boy,
no, God no,
I
God
will
no.
riot. I will get up and leave. I'll be like, fuck this, I'm done. I'm done.
I
I'm
don't
done.
think
I'm
no, I
done.
don't think it's Broom Boy. No.
Because like if he plays with the broom and all in that movie, I'm gonna be like, God damn you, Sean Levy. But I do, but okay, I kind of dig that story. But then again, if they got a force sensitive child and you're trying to take the force sensitive child to a Jedi Master, Jesus Christ, that sounds just like the plot for the Mandalorian season 1.
Yeah, but it's Ryan Gosling.
I guess. I just feel like I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I'm there day one. My kids are gonna come with me because they're gonna be old enough at the time to enjoy it, you know, and everything. And I think it's gonna be um
Now, here's a question though, because I didn't watch the John Campea show clip about this, but I saw it was one of his topics. Do you think it will make more money or less money than Solo?
more money.
You think it'll
The
make more money?
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes.
No, easily $1 billion movie.
Really?
Easily,
Okay.
yes.
Because
And
from
but
what I
again,
hear, the conversation is that it's probably going to do similar to Solo.
no, not at all. They can't. That won't happen. Because you've got the precedent for the Mandalorian television shows. You've got 3 seasons and the Book of Boba Fett. Okay. So what you've got is at this point, or even by the point of that movie coming out, you've got 6.5 years of Baby Yoda being a cultural icon. So you already know that Baby Yoda merch is going to be everywhere, right? It's going to be flooded everywhere, which means kids are going to see it, and kids who know Baby Yoda are going to get excited to go see it. There was no marketing. There was no like, what are you going to do for Solo? Right? There was none of that for Solo. They were also, by the way, with Solo coming off of the controversy with The Last Jedi. What they should have done is delayed Solo until the end of the year, push back Mary Poppins so they get their Disney slot in December. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that would have forced Aquaman to move and other things to move. But either way, though, if they would have pushed it to December, it would have given them a whole year to get away from the Last Jedi. That's what killed Solo, because Solo has found a very dedicated audience of fans after the fact. Like, there are people I know when Solo came out that I went and saw it opening night, and I came out and I'm like, dude, this movie was fucking good. It was good. I loved it. Would love to see more. And then a ton of my friends, I'm not going to fucking go see it. Fuck, after Last Jedi, I'm not going to go see it. So then it hits Netflix by the end of the year. Then all of a sudden I start getting these DMs from people going like, dude, you were right. This movie was great. They didn't see it theatrically, but they saw it after the fact. And the push for Solo 2 has been a big thing. Mm-hmm. It's never gone away. So in that case, I think
Solo as well also had like just a poor marketing campaign.
Well, I mean, like the thing with Solo, yeah, I agree. I mean, dude, should they have put the Darth Maul cameo in the trailer? Probably, to get people excited. I lost my shit when I saw it. Because I like Darth Maul, you know. I feel.
But there's also stuff in the movie that is just like, I mean, like, not. It's like, how does Solo get his name? How does he get his blaster? Then the life debt scene between.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
look, there's
some stuff in there.
I know. I will admit though, the whole part where he's like, calls him, you know, oh, what's your name, Han? What's your last name?
Don't got one.
Like, okay. Solo.
Oh, jeez.
Look, it was corny. But I laughed my ass off at it every time.
But also, too, I mean, there's some stuff in the movie I do genuinely like, but there's some stuff in it too, just like, do we really need that explained? Do we really need to see
okay.
Do we need to see the Kessel Run? Do we need to see that? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, look, those are kind of just standard prequel situations, right? Spherical Man says Matt didn't like that they included the actual Empire theme in the Solo movie. Oh, what, when he was at that same part waiting to go talk to that guy, you hear the Empire theme for a recruitment video? Yeah, that was great. I loved Solo. I loved it. I thought it was excellent. I wish I would love to see.
It's just the problem with that movie. And again, I'm not trying to hate on it or rail on anyone's parade. It's just, you can tell that movie was just given like a hacksaw, and like it's
70% of the film was reshot. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can kind of tell.
Well, no, you absolutely can tell. Like, this is the problem with movie coverage these days. And one of the reasons why, as much as I love it, I love talking about it. It's once you know how the sausage is made, it does take away some of the magic, right? And the way that we operate nowadays is every piece of information has to be nitpicked and has to be talked about. You know, you mentioned the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer not showing much of a story. What was my complaint about Superman in the marketing? What's the story?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just Superman versus Lex Luthor again? And it was, but it told us in a way that was actually like, for me, what worked really well was the performances. I thought were not so much. I mean, Nick Holt was good, but I think he was like the weakest performer in the entire, outside of Isabella Merced. She was bad, but
what?
I mean, yeah, Isabella Merced was not good as Hot Girl. They should recast that. They should recast.
Are you
her.
just saying that to troll?
No, actually, I'm not. She was really she was mid. She was very mid. And the screeching was just bad. But but Guy Gardner was good. Mr. Terrific was good. David Cornsweet, I think, did a fantastic job as Superman. Right? We got like no time with Clark. We got like 2 scenes with Clark. You know what I mean? So it's so they're not even really making it about Clark, about the duality between everything, because they go the hypnotic glasses. You know what? He just says, oh yeah, he's got the hypno glasses. So you don't know that it's him. you know, and so it's like, okay, so they explain all that. They basically removed Clark from the movie entirely, except for the one scene where they're talking, but she's not even talking to Clark. She's talking to Superman, but it was a really good conversation. So, you know, and I will admit, you know, Skylar Gizondo, whatever his name is, he grew on me as Jimmy. He grew on me as Jimmy. So,
Yeah.
but I still don't see why you had like Beck Bennett there, you know, like even Cat Grant. You're just like, why are you here? Like, is it just
Because
like
they're just people. It just flushes out the Daily Planet world, you know.
no, I get that, but I kind of feel it's like they could have maybe like whittled some of that down a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But again, I enjoy the movie. I've watched it with my family now a couple of times. You know what's funny was, speaking of Donovan earlier, the other day we were watching it and I tweeted out watching Superman, and then he fucking took a screenshot of it and was like, I bet he's gonna be critical of the movie. And I was like, no, I like it. Like I have yeah, well, yeah. I have critiques over, even like, dude, I love Avatar 1 and 2. I've got critiques of those movies, you know.
Mhm.
Like there's no, I don't think there's any such thing as a perfect movie.
Yeah. Well, except for Back to the Future.
I can't think of one bad thing about that entire trilogy, actually. Can you think of one bad thing about that entire?
Some people would criticize part 2 and part 3, but
Those people are wrong.
I think they're idiots. So
I don't, dude. The ending of part 2, right after Doc gets zapped back.
It's one of the best endings to a
When
movie ever.
just when that fucking guy shows up and he's got the note from 1885, you're like, oh my! I remember seeing that in theaters. It was, I'll tell you this, it was so packed. I had to sit on the floor of the theater. That's how packed it was when we saw Back to the Future 2, part 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have one criticism. One. I think that with part 2, with the subsequent re-releases, you really don't need to put the trailer for part 3 at the end of part 2.
It was connected. It was connected at the end when
Yeah.
when we saw the movie in theaters back in the
Oh,
80s.
I know, but that should have been like first.
But do you know how cool that was at the
For
time?
the time, I imagine it was amazing.
Like,
Yeah.
you're sitting there, you watch this movie, it's so good. I mean, like, as far as sequels go, it nails every single point it needs to make. The climax of that movie directly tying into the climax of the first movie and how they just run parallel to each other is so fucking good, right? And then you get to the end and it's like, you know, we got to go back to, you know, like, got to go back to the past, right? And it's like, oh shit, then it's over. And then it cuts to the, you know, then it cuts to the whole thing involving like the Western shit, you know, and you're like, oh my God, like, holy shit, you know, like, fucking, there's more. I think what it is like, there's more, you know. And the cool thing is, even back then, they had the to be concluded with the Back to the Future Part 3 trailer. And at the end of the movie. And I thought that was so cool because it was like, oh my God, there's more. We don't have to wait that long for it. And I think that's one of the biggest, that's one of the coolest things they've ever done.
Yeah, you can
You
never
know.
do that today. Where you?
Oh no, but the last time I saw Back to the Future in cinemas was back when I was working at the Regency in Pasadena, and we had an original 1985 print, and it did not have the to be continued at the end of it. And like, that was cool to see.
Yeah.
You know, because like,
Yeah.
because I'll tell you this, I see Blarg in there talking about Back to the Future 3. There's only one deleted scene for that movie on the DVD. There might be more on the Blu-rays and 4K. I haven't looked yet, but my friend had the trilogy on DVD, and we watched it when I was visiting her in Texas. And there's only one deleted scene, and it's where Mad Dog Tannen kills Strickland. Did you know that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he shoots Strickland, and they took it out of the movie. And I'm like, you fucking right, you took it out of the movie. You don't kill Strickland. Because it's like those movies, as a whole, it's like those movies are like untouchable. You know, like you can marathon all 3 and feel great by the time it's over. And you're great with any of those films. But I just, yeah. What do you think you do? Okay, what do you think of this theory? So you know that they said that they're never going to do Back to the Future 4, right?
Not so long as they live.
Not well, no. They're putting clauses in their contract, like apparently post death, like they won't be able to remake it, like whoever gets the rights or whatever. But there's a caveat to that. Do you know what they're working on right now? And this is Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis are kind of involved with or producing Back to the Future, the musical.
Oh,
And
is that gonna be how they remake it?
that is how they reboot it. Is they turn it, they do the musical version of the play as a movie.
I don't think people would go for that though.
They didn't go for it for Mean Girls.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
Yeah.
I, 'cause especially when Hollywood's so afraid of musicals and marketing musicals.
Yeah. Well, then again
Except for
though, but
Wicked.
I think it was either Paramount or Universal that put out Mean Girls, the musical.
It was
I want to say it was
Paramount.
Paramount.
Yeah.
And then, but then Universal has the Back to the Future rights, and Wicked is kind of renovating that entire, reinvigorating that whole thing. I mean, like,
I don't think you could do it though. I think people would be up in arms. I mean, even though the musical was established as like an actual show, I don't think people would go for it.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's like Hollywood likes money, and Hollywood likes easy money by milking IPs. So it's like, it's like, okay, maybe they'll find a way to make it work. Now, I mean, I would go see it out of pure and utter morbid curiosity. But at the same time, it's like, the argument you'll hear is, yeah, well, I mean, they made it, but like, it doesn't take away anything from the original. And I fucking hate that argument, by the way, but it's true in the sense of that, yeah, it wouldn't take away anything from the original.
Yeah. Well, I've always said there's like three perfect movies, right? The Back to the Future trilogy, The Princess Bride, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like,
Those are three, I mean, and, yeah, you've got Rob Reiner, Robert Zemeckis, and Richard Donner, and those are...
Richard Donner.
Zemeckis did two of them.
Yeah, Zemeckis did two of them.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Richard Donner. Well, Goonies.
Yeah,
Can you think of a bad thing about the Goonies?
No, not really. No.
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely different. Can you think of a bad thing about Lethal Weapon? Not really.
One?
The first one.
No, not really. No.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's like I would even go as far as to say something along the lines of like, I completely agree with you about Princess Bride, by the way.
Yeah.
I showed my kids a while back.
That's one that will hopefully never get remade. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I don't think can get remade, but I think that what they've done instead is they've tried to take the idea of cartoons interacting with real life performers, which I don't think has ever been done as well as it was done in that movie, despite advances in technology.
Well,
never been as done as well.
I think for one, the story of Who Framed Roger. I mean, the original book that they were trying to get made was like not good. Like the original story of who killed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, well, even the guy who wrote the book was like, yeah, they did it way better.
Yeah, it was like the way that they took the story and they made it a noir, and they really kind of played up classism, and everything else, and like just kind of the down and dirty parts of Hollywood, like old Hollywood and shit.
Well,
you're never going to be able to get that again.
When you watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like, because how old were you when that movie came out?
That was 1987 or 1988. I was 5 or 6.
Yeah. Did you know that it's basically just a retelling of Chinatown?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until like way later in life.
You've seen Zootopia, right?
Yes, yeah.
Zootopia is just a cop noir film.
No, I know, but like I'm saying, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is literally Chinatown.
Yeah, no, I mean that's
the whole story about like the train stuff and like it's literally Chinatown.
Yeah, I've heard that. I need to go rewatch Chinatown. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't remember everything, but it's like, yeah. Well, that's Hollywood in a nutshell. They'll take a concept and they kind of turn it on its ear, and they make it more palatable for kids or some shit like that, But I'll tell you, I mean, again, like, you talk about perfect films, and I was talking about this with H-Barts recently about like films. I was going to say like masterpieces and shit, because every time I recommend a movie to him, and his parents, they end up liking it. So his dad will like bug H Barts to like ask me for movies to watch, you know? And I'm kind of going through older films with my kids. And I watched Sandlot recently. Have you ever seen Sandlot?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That's also up there with almost an untouchable film. If you really break it down, it is from start to finish like 87 minutes long, but it is just a great summer film. Like just it's even like Three Ninjas, which is essentially just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Karate Kid meets Home Alone. And like that's that movie, and it's still fun as fuck. 30, goddamn near 40 years later. It's like, so I think movies can live on in that way. But I mean, like certain films from the 80s are untouchable in the sense of like when they came out and their cultural footprint, right? Like I didn't see it. Someone mentioned it in the chat there, but Jurassic Park is also a film that is like, you can't touch.
Well, they've tried to, yeah. But
I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand.
Is just, yeah, the first movie is just perfect.
I'm going to stand the last one a little bit. I like the last act of the movie a lot. But it's Rebirth. I still think I think Jonathan Bailey was like the worst cast person in that film.
I think that whole movie was just a mess.
It was a mess in many ways. I mean, like knowing what I know about it in the sense that they, brought in Gareth Edwards as like more of a gun of like a gun for hire. And David Koepp wrote the screenplay. And it's like, okay, and it had very similar themes about parents and children that the first movie did, which was also written by David Koepp. And he does that. Like he wrote Hook, father and son. War of the Worlds, right? The whole thing with Tom Cruise and his kids. It was everything David Koepp writes will have a subplot about a broken family. And that's just what he likes to write. So I don't know. I always see through it and shit, but I liked Rebirth for what it was.
The problem with Rebirth is that it needed to pick a lane. It either needed to tell a story about these mercenaries and flesh them out as characters, like mercenaries seeking redemption, or it needed to be about a family getting lost on an island.
Yeah.
Because I don't think both of those casts of characters meshed very well, because neither one was really developed or fleshed out except for like a couple characters.
What did you think though of the scene with the boyfriend taking a piss? Because I thought that was really good.
I thought that was kind of funny, yeah.
I thought it was funny, but it was also kind of intense. Because
yeah,
because you're seeing it, and then you got the Deus Ex Machina coming on in with the fucking pterodactyl or whatever the fuck it is, and then
comes
just
in later, which
he's just, what I love is his reaction to it, just that reaction of like, fuck, because that was one of the things. I'm watching Rebirth, and I'm just like, okay, the Altoid scene is the worst scene in the whole fucking movie. That Altoid scene just killed the pacing, and like from there, I don't think it like really.
Who are the Altoids again? I forget.
No, so so it's when Scarlett Johansson and Rupert Friend go and talk to Jonathan Bailey, right? And they're like, "Hey, we need you to come with us," and he spends like 15 seconds like chewing Altoids loudly while he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then they're just sitting there, kind of just like do, and then it's meant to be a comedic beat of like, all right, let's go, sort of thing, and it's like that way too long. Way too fucking long. But then again, Gareth Edwards didn't have final cut on that movie. Like that was all producer edited. That was all producer finished. And that's the biggest problem is like what you need for someone, if you're going to bring in Gareth Edwards, who had like, again, like people go back and they talk shit about his Godzilla, but his Godzilla showed us a monster movie from the human perspective with really excellent cinematography, right? And a great story. And then you take that and you also apply that then to the creator, and Rogue One is a mishmash of him and Tony Gilroy. So it's kind of hard to tell at times. And I think after watching Andor, we can see what Tony Gilroy really kind of beefed up, and so I don't really count that. But you saw the creator, right?
No, actually, no.
Fucking great movie.
Yeah, I hear
it is. It is like, I mean, like it is really, really good. And again, like good cinematography, lower budget. I think it was like 90 million, but he shot it on these like Sony digital camcorders, that looked really good. And that's even his company, or the company he did the visual effects with. Even Marvel's been talking to them because they introduced AI into their workflow to help kind of cut costs down and everything else, And so the creator, I think, was a really, really, really good story. A bit derivative. It's like lone wolf and cub sort of thing, but that's, again, stories we see all the time. But I just really think it was well done for the world it was building. And then he goes on to go do this, and it's like the CG isn't great. I do think that the T-Rex scene, the raft sequence, was everything I wanted it to be. I was very happy with that.
It's definitely the best part of the movie.
Dude, when the T-Rex rolled over, fuck, that got me. That I was like, oh shit. Because she's like creeping up on it, and like, oh, there's the raft. There it is. We're gonna get it. Where's the T-Rex? And then it just rolls over asleep. That was really good. I thought that was pretty solid. I feel like they should have just done more. The script needed another Passover. It needed a lot more Passover to it. And then they needed more time to kind of go to finalize the CG and shit. So that's the biggest problem with Jurassic World is almost like they feel like they need to keep making these movies in order to retain the rights to like the books. But it's like, what are you going to do now with the end of this one, right? Like they give away the cure, they give away all the information at the end of the movie. So what are you going to do with it now?
Okay, so here's my wild theory. If they really want like to show some balls, what if there's two paths they take? First path is, what if the cure doesn't work, but it actually makes disease more? It actually like kills humanity off slowly. Like it's like humanity starts to become the species going extinct. Or or if you really want to go out there, you basically created medicine that has dinosaur DNA, and that's how you start getting human dinosaur hybrids.
Well, I mean, they wanted the
Because
cloning with
they've been wanting to
the
do the
cloning,
human
yeah.
dinosaur hybrids for years now. It's been in the concept art for movies for years. I mean, if you want to do it, you could do it with that.
But I don't, this is the problem with IPs. Okay, like you can take Indiana Jones and you can put him in multiple situations and have him get out of trouble, right? You can take people and put them in dinosaur situations and have them get out of trouble only a couple times before generally it starts to be a bit
No, I know,
derivative.
but that's the problem. It's like you have to escalate it and take it to the next level, but at that
Yeah.
point it kind of becomes removed from what the franchise was about. But the whole point of Jurassic Park is the franchise has always been like humans messing with science and messing with things they don't understand. So I mean,
Well,
you
that's what
have
Michael
to,
Crichton enjoyed to write about.
yeah. And that, I mean, if you want to show the consequences of that, I mean, why not go for you thought this was going to be a cure to these diseases, but it ends up making things worse in some way, shape, or form. I mean,
Yeah. But
and you
then what
don't
do
even
you,
necessarily have to bring those characters back. You can just be like, hey,
yeah.
this cure that was introduced made everything
Or
worse.
what if they go forward several thousand years and astronauts return to Earth when the dinosaurs are once again in control?
So,
But,
so either way, we're going to Planet of the Apes.
well, no, I was gonna use as a plot device to bring in Dino Riders, which was an old '80s cartoon show that I had like all the toys for. It was like, I think it was like, basically think like GI Joe and like Cobra Commander, and like they go back in time to when there's dinosaurs and they have to like fight each other, but they basically like arm dinosaurs with like rocket pods and shit, and they ride dinosaurs and like fight each other. It's literally a show called Dino Riders. It's pretty based.
Yeah.
And I mean, like,
Well, that's the thing too. Like everybody thought after what was it, Fallen Kingdom, we were gonna get Dinotopia, basically. It's
oh
like,
yeah.
and we never really got that. We never got that promise of that.
Well,
Again, they missed out, man. That could have been when the franchise went. They missed out on that.
yeah, I mean, it's like, look, it's like I recently got the Ultimate Collection of the movies on 4K, and I'll get Rebirth, and then I'll have the whole set. And I honestly don't feel like they need to do anything else with the franchise. I just like, I just don't feel like there's anything they need to do unless they can really get somebody to go on in there and offer a really fresh perspective and a really fresh take and get everybody on board. And I just feel like Blargin was talking about, that like about how David Koepp is kind of washed up. But then again, Spielberg produced the movie and Spielberg was involved in greenlighting the screenplay. And David Koepp is his boy. He's written a bunch of movies that Spielberg has directed. And I feel it's like, as much as I love Spielberg, I almost want the franchise to go into a different control pattern. I want somebody else to do it. And the downside to that is that most likely what that would mean is not a continuation, but like a remake of the original book. And you can't touch it. Because if you're going to do a remake of the original book, right, Gennaro doesn't die on the toilet. He gets killed in the raptor den.
Well, the thing is, though, the book, like, if you wanted to do like a remake of the first movie, but do it more like the book, that could be a compelling TV show.
It would be, yeah.
Because you could do a lot with that. Because like the book is like very different, but it's a great read. It's great.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I was 11 years old when that came out, summer of '93.
I mean, it makes statistics terrifying. It makes numbers terrifying.
Yeah.
Like there's the one part where like you read about how many raptors are loose that you don't have a count for.
Oh yeah. Well, never mind the fact that they also use a tranquilizer dart with 1,000 cc's meant for a T-Rex on a raptor, and it blows the goddamn thing in half. That's one of the funniest scenes in the book. When they do that, they find like the tranq gun and they're like, okay, we can put down a raptor, and they blow it up. But then also like Lex is just a moron in the story. In the original book, she's just dumb. And it's
and then Tim's the smart one, yeah.
I mean, I appreciate them giving Ariana Richards something to do in the movie. It's like, hey, hashtag girl power, right? But it's like, yeah, you could do something that would make it work. You know what I think did Jurassic Park kind of well, but was something unrelated, was The Mummy 2. Because like there's the scene in The Mummy 2 when the pygmies are taking out the guys. And that's very reminiscent to the scene in The Lost World when they're on Ilsa Nublar and the raptors start going through the tall grass and taking everybody out.
Oh, yeah.
I've always felt that scene was kind of stolen from that, but never mind, is both universal. I mean, it's like, I just like the thing I liked about Jurassic World kind of moving forward is I like the idea that Jurassic World was like, okay, they perfected the technology and Richard Hammond's dream of opening the theme park is something that they decided to do, and it worked. Right. And the whole point of Jurassic World, the first movie, was the Indominus Rex was like, we need to have these attractions. We need to keep upping our game.
Yeah, it kind of felt like the natural progression.
Yeah. And like, that is okay, great. And then it worked. And then it's like Fallen Kingdom. I like Fallen Kingdom, but people give a lot of shit to that because Fallen Kingdom was more about like the military industrial complex and Dr. Wu and everything else. And like everything on that side, which I thought was interesting. And I still haven't seen Dominion. So I still haven't watched it yet.
I mean, there's some stuff about it I like, but I don't think it's as bad as everybody says it is.
No, I'll tell you this though.
But I will say some of its missed opportunities.
Oh no, I agree. But the shot of when they're exiting the island and you see the brontosaurus and it goes on its hind legs and like it gets illuminated by the explosion of the volcano and it looks like it's encased in amber. That was a beautiful shot. Like, I mean, there's some good cinematography in Fallen Kingdom, like really good cinematography in that movie. And I feel like people, again, it's like, I don't think people know what they want with a Jurassic Park film. Like, which is because and I agree with Blargin.
I don't think they know what they want Jurassic World to be anymore.
Well, I mean, no, well, here's the thing. Fallen Kingdom is kind of like disliked Blargin. So, there's that. But then so is Dominion, which is I think one of the reasons why. Did you ever see the battle for like Big Rock or whatever it was? They did that little 7-minute short about the T-Rexes after Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, is that the one where like the T-Rex goes to the drive-in movie?
No, not the drive-in. No, not the. It goes to a camp. Like I think it was a Triceratops or something. There's people camping. And it wasn't. It was directed by Colin Trevorrow, I think, and it wasn't the drive-in thing. It was a camp thing. They released it, I want to say, like in Maybe it was around the time Fallen Kingdom came out. Because I remember they released it. I was watching it, and then we were watching it one morning, and it was really intense and scared the shit out of my kids, who were like super young. It's like 2019, 2020. So.
Oh, Max Jarbo's calling.
Yeah, I know. I just saw this here. Yeah, Jesus Christ. So you're on about free speech all week, and then it's confirmed that Biden admin was forcing YouTube to censor speech, and suddenly you have nothing to say. I haven't talked about it, for one. And two, what they were generally doing is going after COVID misinformation and election misinformation, which I'm fine with that. I don't care. It's if you're going to go out there and you're going to, this is also following January 6th, which was an open attack, a domestic terror attack on our democracy that was spurred on by bad information about elections and even about COVID, that the current president of the United States has no problem lying to the American public and leading them falsely around certain things. I mean, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'd rather people have correct information and not be incentivized to fucking pollute the airwaves with lies on a platform that doesn't have to do it if they don't want to. So, there's that. I don't give a shit. I really don't care, because that's not the government. That the government was pushing in on bad information that was going to mislead people and potentially hurt people. Okay, fucking going after Jimmy Kimmel because he made a joke about you don't like. There's that. No, and the thing is, they have the right to say it. They have the right to say it. I just don't care that YouTube shut them down. I mean, call me a hypocrite. I don't give a fuck. So, I don't give a fuck. Maybe I should. I don't care. Following J6, following all that election shit, all that COVID shit, dude, we had 1.4 or 1.3 million Americans die from COVID. We had people out there pushing ivermectin, not the fucking pill form, but the horse dewormer. And people were taking that, and hydroxychloroquine, or whatever the fuck it is called. And they were taking that shit, and they're getting sick, and they're dying. I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Yeah, call me whatever you want. I don't care. I will be a hypocrite in this moment, because I'd rather people get fucking reliable information than bullshit. So there you go. But those are people that were pushing misinformation, not someone making a joke. There are two varying degrees here. So, I don't care.
Did you talk about the Jimmy Kimmel stuff already, or no?
A little bit at the beginning of it, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why I was so late tonight, was like Jimmy Kimmel did his thing.
Well, I saw, though, isn't Nexstar still refusing to air the show? So
it's like not air? It didn't air in Seattle, of all places.
I think like 40% of the country didn't see it.
20%. 20% of the country didn't see it. Yeah. And that's you know what? Here's the thing. It's that company's right to not do it. If they don't want to air Kimmel, I don't care.
Yeah, I think Nexstar controls what airs in my neck of the woods. So.
Yeah. So that's their company. They can do what they want with it. You know what I'm saying? The issue there of Brendan Carr, of them, see, my issue is them doing it to secure the approval of a $6.2 or $3 billion merger. It wasn't that they gave a shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't that they cared. They didn't care. They just wanted to protect their business interess. So they did this as a virtue signal.
Saying that he's going to sue ABC for bringing the show back? He
tried suing the New York Times last week for $15 billion because they posted that birthday card that he sent to Epstein, and the judge just went like, whatever, and threw it out. Trump can refile, but generally it got tossed the fuck out because there's no merit to it. So, it's just like, that's kind of where we are. If you are going to, I mean, that's just, we have a president that doesn't care about who he hurts. He just wants, he just wants his way. And the former guy, be mad at him all you want for it, cool, fine. But his reasoning wasn't to protect himself. His reasoning was to protect other people from bad information. That's what it boils down to. And the platform chose to not do it. And now the platform, under pressure from the current administration, is turning heel on it and saying, yeah. All these years later, we were wrong. But it's just YouTube covering their own tracks. And the reason why they're covering their own tracks has everything to do with the fact that, have you noticed that there's a lot of your favorite content creators talking about how YouTube isn't getting lower views?
Yes,
Do you know why that is?
because of the AI, whatever the algorithm changes.
Well, there's a big reason for those algorithm changes. It's the TikTokification of YouTube. That's a big factor. Is a lot of people aren't watching. They're not watching
Yeah, I
as
think it was
much.
something to do with like the age. Like it's like
There's they said the
some-
restricted stuff.
yeah, the restricted mode.
Yeah, if it detects that you're under the age of 15 or something. Well, then my question then becomes if you got people like some of these channels that are like clearly aimed for like the older audience, and they're the ones that are getting all these views losses because people are being detected as being under the age of 15. That's a little weird, right? It's a little weird. But my theory is that it's because of TikTok, because if TikTok goes into control of Peter Thiel and Larry Ellison, they're going to be able to oversee the algorithm and what gets pushed. Liberal content is going to be completely suppressed. And there's 170 million people monthly in this country who use TikTok. And so it's a very large platform. It's, I would argue at this point, way more influential than Twitter or than YouTube. And so that's what they want. And YouTube wants it too, because of all those billions of views. And they can serve up ads and make more money off of the short form content. And that's kind of where we're going to go. Like legitimately, that's where a lot of us are going to go, is going to go over there, or they're going to have to do more of the changes because, like how many people do you know right now are complaining just in general about not getting any views, but it hasn't been anything new.
True, right? But it's a problem when even the channels that used to get views don't get views anymore, or less views.
A lot. Well, yeah, it's kind of like it, but it's also like what YouTube serves up, right? So, and this is what I you gotta always kind of go back and explain this. So YouTube, when you're watching it on your television, your mobile device, your console, your PC, wherever, it creates a different session and a different profile for each of those locations, meaning that what you watch in those locations, you're going to be served up more of that content, right? So it's like on my phone, I've been watching a lot of Charlie Kirk assassination videos about like the ballistics and everything, because all the gun tubers do not believe any of what the FBI is saying. And so listening to them talk about that, so my entire feed is just full of that shit, right? Like it's so hard to get away from it now because I watch so much of it. But on my TV, barely anything, But on my TV in my room, it's mostly like AI content because that's what I watch most of in here. So it's just that's the sessions that they create. And so if people are watching more on their phone or less on their TV or whatever, they're going to see and be served up different things. The whole thing is weird. But YouTube is like, I think YouTube is not dying, but it's definitely on its way out the door. I do. I think it's at a point where it's like Netflix, where it's like just that's going to be, I think people are going to get really ticked off and they're just going to leave. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get a drink of water.
No, you're fine. I'm seeing some people spurg out in your chat. It's crazy.
Let them spurg. It's fine. Let them spurg. It's cool. I don't care. Look, man, I support free speech, but I don't support fucking bad information. All right. If you're out there willfully lying to people, I don't really give a shit. I just don't care. I don't care anymore.
Before you get, because I think you have super chats and stuff, I just have an interesting question to propose. What do you think is going to happen to South Park?
Be fine.
You think it's going to be okay?
Charlie Kirk liked it. He liked being
No,
made
I
fun
know,
of.
but I'm saying, like, do you think, how do I put this? With the Ellison stuff and just like the Ellisons taking over and just like the way things are going, do you think they're going to ask South Park to tone it down too?
I don't think they're going to, because they if they ask South Park to turn it down, those guys will just they'll burn every bridge they got before they sell out. You know, they've already got paid. They've already got one. They just signed a deal for $1.5 billion through Paramount, right? Or, you know, and that was before the Skydance thing took over. So $1.5 billion is going to them over the course of 5 years. So if they want to sit there and do that, they're still paid out $1.5 billion. And then they can, and they still, I think they ultimately own the rights to South Park. So Comedy Central, you know, they'll make enough money to be able to more or less go to court and fight for the rights back to their show to take it someplace else if they get fucked over. And the reason why they got the $1.5 billion is predominantly for the streaming rights to the show, because they'd already signed another deal with Paramount and Comedy Central a while back to produce, I think, up to season 30. And now but the thing is, though, is like what Trey Parker and Matt Stone have been doing is they've been only doing like these like 6 episode seasons, because they've also been doing like all the movies, you know, as a way to kind of like fill everything up there. And that's actually gotten them in some legal hot water with HBO Max, who paid them $500 million a number of years ago in order to get the streaming rights. So it's very complicated. And so if there's an issue with that, I'm sure HBO Max will be like, yeah. We'll help fund your exit lawsuit to get your rights back to come back over here. You know, they can they'll more or less like do whatever the fuck they want. What I don't understand is why they've never bothered to try and, you know, like do anything else that would be like a show, you know, like, well, they did one. I don't know if you remember this, that back when George Bush got elected in 2001, there was a show Comedy Central aired that was by Trey Parker and Matt Stone called That's My Bush. And it was a sitcom set in the White House about George Bush. It did not last very long. It was funny. You can find it on YouTube. But, you know, well, okay, Hell's Only says Team America. But I mean by that is like, you know, Team America was 21 years ago. Right? It was 21 years ago as Team America. So since then, they haven't done a movie. Now, that's not true. Well, that's not true. They have one that's coming out next year. They have one that they shot.
The Kendrick Lamar movie.
The Kendrick Lamar one, yeah.
About the guy who discovers that his girlfriend owned his family.
His girlfriend's family owned his family back in the 1800s. You know, and Trey Parker directed that. So I don't know if he wrote it, but he directed it. So that should be pretty good.
I'm pretty sure they wrote it too. It's also part musical.
Oh, that should be pretty good. That should be pretty good. I mean, well, here's Blargan's like, how has the Book of Mormon not got a movie yet? That's right. They did the Book of Mormon. I forgot about that. Just because Broadway brings in a lot of money.
Yeah. I won't be shocked if they make a Hamilton movie one day. An actual, like, movie version of it, I mean.
Yeah, Disney will definitely pay out the money. Considering it's so weird that they just put it in theaters.
It was supposed to go to theaters, but then the pandemic happened, so it got released on Disney Plus instead.
Isn't it funny though that like 4 years later they put it in theaters?
Yeah, just randomly. I don't know why.
It's all like I all of a sudden heard it's like, hey, you know, Hamilton's in theaters. Like, oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Sure.
Okay. I still didn't watch it when it hit Disney Plus, but I'll tell you, a lot of people I know did. I didn't think it was like 3.5 hours long or some shit like that. So I was like,
it's lengthy. I mean, it's got an intermission though.
Yeah, I want to see. I do want to see the Book of Mormon. But here's my thing though, and I say this I've been saying this for years. I hate Broadway for one reason, and it's not that it's kind of petty, but it's like Broadway makes a lot of money on its own, but they could make a lot more money if they would actually shoot these things and put them in like Fathom events, you know, so people could experience it in theaters, and then they might go, well, now I want to travel and go pay the money to go see it, you know, and do all that stuff and actually get into theater, rather than making it more of what feels like an elitist, you know, like white person thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel it's like, because I don't remember if you remember back in the day, when they first started the Fathom events, you'd see the ads before the movies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like,
I still
yeah,
get those.
like, Yeah, but but it's always for like Miss Saigon.
Yeah, it's like, well, a couple times I've gotten them. One of them was for an opera. The second one was like for Spinal Tap, the re-release, and another one was like for the Spider-Man re-releases, and then TMNT. But yeah, I get a lot of the opera ones. Yeah, it's just like, who gives a shit about
Well,
this?
yeah, some people do, but I think if you had like a more contemporary play that people wanted to see, then I think you'd get more people, you know.
Probably.
But then again, Taylor Swift made how much money on her Eras tour hitting theaters, and they just re-released that too, or they are re-releasing it again to kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
double
they're
dip.
doing the well, she's doing something crazy where it's like, what was it, October 3rd through the 5th for one weekend only. She's doing the album The Life of a Showgirl. Like it's just, here's the crazy thing. It's not a movie. It's just you get to see the music video early. Then you get to watch the behind the scenes of making the musical and you get interviews. That's like, I guess, feature length, like maybe like 90 minutes.
Well, to that I
But
say
people are buying that shit
a
though. Like they're
fool and their money are soon parted. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's kind of how I view it.
I
But
mean,
at the same,
people are gonna go. People are paying to watch it though. And here's the crazy thing: like, she's not going to the studios to release it. She's just going straight to theaters. Like, there's
yeah,
no she
she's
cut the middleman out.
she's four walling it, which makes a lot of sense because the four walling it, because she just she works the deal with the theaters directly, and then she doesn't got to pay a distributor, and then she'll be able to make a lot more money off of that, and then that might also kind of be where like some movies go. It's like imagine you know like what if James Cameron took his personal wealth and he made a movie and then he went to like the theaters and went like, okay, I want to distribute the movie through the theaters, AMC, Regal, Cinemark, and just cut out Disney or cut out 20th Century, you know, and then they'd be like, okay, right, like they want their money, but it's like you completely cut out the middleman on that one because Taylor doesn't need to market. I don't even think even really like a James Cameron movie would have to market that much. But then again, you look at Megalopolis, right? And that movie had terrible marketing campaign and is like did not do well.
Yeah.
But hold on, I've been sitting here for 2 hours. I gotta go to the bathroom. And then there's one thing I wanna have you talked to Enosh lately?
No, but I know where this is going.
No, I already talked about it earlier. I was just gonna ask you. But I'll be right back. I just gotta go and take a leak, so give me a second.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, the Eras tour made like a ton of money. I mean, that blew up. Um, no other concert movie though has done that well though. I think Beyonce did her concert movie did okay. Didn't make Eras tour money though, you know. So it's just kind of interesting. You see like how the theatrical stuff is sort of evolving, just to sort of you know, kind of people are looking for different events to go to. So won't be shocked if you see more concert movies in the future because people like to. Uh, really, Leonardo DiCaprio and Del Toro are going to be on the New Heights podcast? Really? No way. Hold on, let me look that up. Really? I it must be to promote one battle after another, but that's crazy. I never thought those two would do a podcast. Wow, they are. That's crazy. But hey, I mean, again, that's part of the that's part of the you kind of have to evolve the way you market stuff because um you have to try and reach new audiences and you got to try and reach people, so sometimes you gotta um do things a little bit more boldly, you know. That's crazy. Yeah, they look like they just filmed it on the couch too. That's funny. That's funny. Um Yeah, One Piece Film Red did pretty good too. Demon Slayer has been that's been crazy. 2 weekends at #1, still making a ton of money. Um, Good for that. I mean, I haven't caught up with the anime, so I read the manga though. I read the manga, so I know the whole story, but I've not. I need to go back and watch season 2. I I still think it's crazy they're splitting up the last part of the story into like a trilogy of movies, each coming out at like across like what, a year, 2 years. So you're not gonna get the conclusion to Demon Slayer till 2029. Like what the hell? But it's gonna make them a lot of money. So I mean, hey, let me see. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think it's kind of you're kind of milking it a little bit, but I mean if it makes that much money, I can't necessarily blame you. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, yeah, are you milking it a little bit, splitting it up into 3 movies? Yes. But also if you're making that much money, I can't say I blame you. I mean, go for it, you know?
Oh, talking about the Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's doing as well as it is, because I mean,
I'm
like that
not.
it's
I'm not
holding
because
on though.
it's yeah, well, what's coming out to challenge it?
Well, I
Nothing.
mean, true,
Nothing's really
but
coming out until this weekend.
then at the same time, every other time you get like an anime coming on out, like it does well for a weekend. Has this been out for more than one weekend, or is this
Yeah,
just
it
been
came
out for
out
the one?
last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for the first weekend, I think I made like 70 million, and then the second weekend it made 17 million, but it was still #1.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Is like it's like it does well, and then like having the long tail for it is a little tougher. But I mean, if a drop from fucking 70 to 17 isn't great, but if it's still #1.
Yeah. So you said something about what
Oh,
you
I
were
was just more like talking shit. It's just
why
there's
what
been
happened?
well, Enosh and his son had a bit of a falling out, and Enosh's son made some interesting comments alleging that Enosh had been a bad boy.
About what?
I kind of there was some infidelity that happened before his previous marriage ended. As well as I'm just gonna hold on. I'm just gonna say it in the private chat there because um,
Oh, Jesus Christ, why is this happening?
okay, there we go. All right, yeah. Has anyone seen Long Walk yet? No, hits digital. I think while I'm out of town, but I'll check it out then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna avoid that with a 10-foot pole and just let that sort itself out.
Oh no, Brandon! Why? We already had Donovan. I guarantee you he's still
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. It's because Brandon was he wanted me to tell please tell Matt that I'm a real artist. That's what he DM'd me.
I'm
Hold on,
a
let me tell you.
real boy. I'm a real boy. You know what though? What did you think of Weapons?
I really liked it.
Do you think that?
Very
d-
very strange movie, but I dug it.
Yeah, yeah. I dug it. I dug it. I dug it a lot. I feel like it's I feel like the only real complaint that I have is that it was like a Twilight Zone episode that was turned into a feature length movie that didn't need to be a feature length movie. Does that make sense? Like they added
Uh,
so much. Like, do you really need to follow the crackhead? Do you
that
really
was
need it?
great though.
No, it was good. It was good as
That
like
was
a
kind of the point. Like the crackhead kind of became the hero of the movie, but not really because he's only doing it for the money so he can get more crack, which
yeah.
is fucking hilarious.
So I really no, I enjoyed Weapons quite a bit. I don't know if I feel like I will watch an Aunt Gladys prequel, although I don't necessarily feel like it's necessary. Tony, if you want to check in on him, you can go ahead and check on him. Um, he is just doing his thing.
I think with the Aunt Gladys thing, it really depends on what they. It depends on the story they want to tell. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it. I mean, he's got a good idea for it. I could see it working. It just depends. It
Yeah.
just depends.
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm glad we're getting original stories this year that have done well.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
for sure.
I'm glad that we're getting that. I'm glad Sinners came out despite my, criticisms of the finale. Um, and the same thing with Weapons. I think Weapons really established it. Well, one of the things that Weapons did is they put Zach Kreger they put him together with David Fincher. And David Fincher kind of mentored Zach a bit. And so if you look at how Weapons is shot and you look at like the vibe that the movie puts out, it's like the cooler temperatures, and it feels very much like a bit of a Fincher film. So I think that's interesting. No, I'm excited for Kreger's Resident Evil movie.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by that, especially because it's going to be it's set in the universe of the games, but it's telling an original story, just coinciding with the games. Like it's going to kind of add to the mythos. Um, yeah, basically, I think they said it's like about a delivery driver who has to make a delivery to a hospital, and then some crazy shit happens. So,
Okay. Okay. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
sure.
it's probably like gonna connect to like Resident like Raccoon City or something, like either during the events of Resident Evil 2 or like, well, it depends because you have to be careful with the timeline because if it happens during Resident Evil 2, that has to happen before the nuke goes off, so before they bomb the hell out of Raccoon City.
I would hope that they find a way to tie it together, but at the same time, like, they've tried so many times now, right?
Which I think is why he's just doing an original story that like takes place in the universe versus trying to tell an actual story from the game.
Yeah.
Because like why like at that point it's just like, well, you could just go play the games. I can somewhat respect that.
Well, I mean, like, I get that, but at the same time, when we talk about adaptations, people do want adaptations. I have a feeling like even the Harry Potter the television show is going to find themselves in a bit of hot water when it finally comes out, because people are going to be like, okay, well, I'm willing to give the show a go despite, maybe hatred of J.K. Rowling or whatever. And then they're going to see Snape and they're going to be like, I don't know, man, that could be something interesting. And then, but that could also have a lot of real bad blowback. That's what I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to happen. If it's going to do well, or if it's just going to get like blown to shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's really going to depend. It's really going to depend.
Because they're playing with fire on this one. And the thing is, I think they know that they're playing with fire. And I think they're counting on playing with fire in order to, because have you seen like I forget who made the comment about it. Maybe it was Chris Columbus looking at Hagrid, Nick Frost as Hagrid.
Well, yeah, it's the same costume, yeah.
Same costume, same look. Like, what's the point of this? And I'm like, that is
money.
Yeah, it's money.
It's also to keep the IP alive because for licensing purposes and theme parks and everything. I mean, you kind of have to keep it going in some way.
I guess, like, to me though, it's just like, okay, well, like, look at the same thing with Jurassic Park. Like, would Jurassic Park do well if it was a television series? Would Universal, if they're trying to save Peacock, would they do a Jurassic Park television show?
But don't we already have one with what's it called? Camp Cretaceous.
But that's Jurassic World.
Oh yeah, but Jurassic World is like the IP that they're more attached to right now. If that makes sense. Like that's the one where it's kind of like that's the one they put all their focus on.
Yeah, I think because that's what like they could maybe find a way to make that work. I mean, Camp Cretaceous was actually pretty good from what I saw. The only thing I find to be kind of funny about that is the kid. Have you seen Camp Cretaceous?
No, I've heard about it though.
Okay, so there's a nerd kid, right? And the nerd kid sounds it's the kid from the Goldbergs, if you remember that show on ABC.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so like he uses the same kind of nerd voice. Do you remember that really cringy Galactic Star Cruiser video where like they had the kid and he goes into the bar?
Oh yeah.
That's the kid. That's the kid.
Oh.
And so like, but he has like the one nerd voice and he uses it in the Goldbergs and he uses it in Camp Cretaceous. And he's also the E-boy in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Oh.
And he uses like the same voice, and I just noticed that about him. It's it's always kind of funny in my opinion, because like some actors are like, okay, this is all I can really do. This is the one voice, and then that's it. That's what they got. I don't know. Anyway, hold on, a couple super shit to get to. Anthony, member for 41 months. Thank you. Will Gavin Newsom win in 2028? The answer to that is maybe. Most likely, Gavin Newsom would win. Because who's he
gonna run?
Who's he gonna run against? Oh yeah, no. Gavin Newsom is definitely, getting ready to like make the run. He's been hammering Trump forever. They're the ones that are trying to push through the Proposition 50 to to go through and help redistrict California to combat what Trump had got them to do in Texas. And I want to say like Missouri, or maybe it was did they do that in Alabama, or am I thinking of something else?
I don't remember.
So they've done that. So yeah, I think Newsom is absolutely getting ready to go to make a run, to make a bid. And the thing is, though, the Democrats, I mean, who else is going to run against, Bernie's too old to run, unfortunately. AOC is a representative, so she's not a senator or a governor or a business person. So she doesn't, so she's not going to be able to run until she's that. She might be brought in as a VP pick, but then again, I don't think he's going to want to go with her. So it is kind of crazy that this is what we got, and there's really, unfortunately, no better Democrat right now that can take the fight to the conservatives. It won't be Josh Shapiro. It won't be the other guy from what's his name, Andy Bashir. It's going to be Newsom. Newsom right now. Newsom has been the heir apparent. Tim Walz might make a run, and I think that'd be interesting to see. Kamala kind of burned the bridges. Did you hear about that? The Kamala thing with the book?
No, I did not.
So Rachel Maddow kind of pressed her on this the other day, because in Kamala's new book about losing the election, she talks about how her first choice for VP was going to be Pete Buttigieg. And then she was like, I don't know, man, like he gay. And I'm already asking, the country to accept a black woman as president, but are they going to accept a black woman and a gay man as VP? And that's kind of just where we are. And so she got some shit for that, but I think as sad as it is to say, I think she made the right call on that one. And it's not because I'm against Pete Buttigieg. I'm not. I think he's very good. But it has more to do with the fact that, yeah, you're asking America to accept a lot, and that's hard to do. Just saying. We're not there yet. We should be, but we're not. It's like, why didn't Trump won twice against two women, but he lost against a man?
Well, if you believe there wasn't voter fraud, yes.
Well, there's now been talks about that, and I'm not giving any credence to that until there's something with absolute concrete evidence.
Yeah. So long as you don't believe that they rigged the vote, then yes, he lost to a man.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Um, there's a lot there that is unexplained in my opinion, but at the same time, it's like show me evidence. I'm not gonna do the same thing that Trump did, which is like, someone says voter fraud and he's like, that guy's got it right, and there's no evidence. So show me the evidence. And you got to do that. You got to show me the fucking evidence. Otherwise, I'm not going to listen. Then we got Ahsoka here. Thank you, Ahsoka. As a massive Marvel Comics fan, don't diss Franklin Richards. He's one of the most OP characters in the Marvel Universe. I'm not dissing Franklin Richards. I don't care for babies in movies like this kind of shit.
I just want to see Valeria.
Who's that?
Valeria is their daughter, who Doctor Doom saves the life of and helps Sue give birth to the fact he only does it because he wants Reed Richards to know that his daughter would not exist without Doom. And because of that, they are forced to name their daughter the name that Doctor Doom wants, which is Valeria. And Valeria becomes actually very close to Doctor Doom. Actually, there's some interesting stuff with her and just like her relationship with him.
I mean, well, if the MCU is still around that by the time the character gets to be of that age, or if they haven't absolutely just fucking, distanced
Well, she's
themselves.
born actually relatively soon after Franklin. Like
Okay.
they're pretty close in age. But I don't know if they're gonna do that.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Marvel, I think, is in. I don't want to say they're in crisis mode necessarily, but they are definitely in like, ooh, we got to figure some shit out mode. And I think part of that would be
Panic button mode.
I don't know if I'd say panic button. Okay, I don't know if I'd say that. Like everything has shifted, but it's since COVID. I'll tell you this though. I think it's that people have become comfortable with the MCU.
I don't think it's comfy. I think they're apathetic.
Well, that it all depends on whether or not they watch the movies at all. Okay, theaters aside, if they don't watch the movies at all, then I think you'd have a point there.
I think that's one of the biggest things that that Hollywood is having to contend with right now is just general apathy. I think apathy is very real right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
People just don't care.
I think it's
very disengaged.
I mean, like, as much as I love movies, I don't have as much interest in going to the theater anymore. And it has more to do with just like availability, timing and everything else.
But it's not about going to the theater. What I'm talking about is like it's just apathy towards everything. Like just even just watching stuff or engaging with stuff.
No, it's entirely possible because I think part of that too might be the fact that there's no that there's no downtime anymore. Like there's no at this point in time, it's like, okay, fine, movies go. All right, like, how many movies are coming out right now in theaters, right? Okay, like 3 films come out this week. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, how many have hit digital? Okay, that's a fair amount. How many have hit streaming? You know what I'm saying? It's like there's so much content to watch. That's in part of the apathy, is that there's just so much that's there. You just don't know really what to watch. And so you get like, I don't want to say like analysis paralysis, but there is like the consequence, there is like is it like the petrification of choice where you want to pick the right thing, but there's so many options, you don't know what to pick. And so after a while, you just kind of go back to what's comforting.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
So did I see the behind the scenes of Toby in Doomsday? I don't think it's real. I mean, I think he'll be in Secret Wars, but I don't think he'll be there.
Yeah, you can't blow your load off too early with Doomsday. Or maybe they do want to blow their load off early because they need people to get in. They want people to care.
Maybe. I mean, I do think that, you know, um, they're going to have to really heavily market Robert Downey Jr. and that's going to be the big thing. But if um, they do have the what's it called? The Spider-Man stuff they could pull from as well, right? And you got Brand New Day coming out, which I think is going to be pretty good. Although that movie is fucking locked and loaded, man. There's so many cameos in that film.
Which one?
Brand New Day.
I don't know if they're cameos. I mean, I think we're just finding out more about the cast. We really don't know much about the cast, or like who the villain is, or what the story is.
No, but it's like, do you think Mr. Negative? Do you think he's going to be the villain?
No, I think we know who the villain is now.
Do you think it's Tombstone?
I think it's Tombstone,
Maybe.
which is fine. I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean,
So I think it's
although I did see one rumor which is hilarious if true, because I'm just like that's a little much. I guess there's a rumor that uh, Peter Parker is gonna find out that the Hulk killed his parents during the Battle of New York accidentally during the destruction. It's gonna be like a big moment, I guess.
okay.
Which that has to be fake, right?
I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah, because like wouldn't that kind of I don't know.
That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. It's like, for one, we haven't learned how late they died, or anything else
I
like
mean,
that.
typically they do die, but typically they die like in a plane crash or something. Or if you
Yeah,
want to go with the whole, they were secret agents who worked for Shield and got killed on a mission, which that was what the comics did way long ago. But I think they retconned that, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
yeah. That's kind of dumb to me, to be honest with you.
But
It's
but like
like,
also too, it's like why do we need the Hulk to have killed his parents? Is that gonna be like so? Because that way they have an excuse to fight each other. It's like I'm
uh,
sorry, Peter, I killed your parents. I didn't know.
yeah, just the Mark. Yeah, gee golly, so sorry, Peter. Would you like a taco?
But also too, that doesn't that kind of like if that was true, doesn't that kind of like taint the first Avengers movie? You're seeing Hulk do all this awesome stuff. It's like, well, he killed people because
Well,
of
I
his
mean,
destructive nature.
can they sit there though? I mean, were the Chitauri? Could the Chitauri have killed them?
Well, isn't that what they did with the Hawkeye show, where Kate Bishop's what was it, dad died during the Battle of New York during the destruction, but Hawkeye saved her. Like she didn't know. I mean, Hawkeye didn't know he saved her, but he coincidentally did just by doing what he did.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I like that
There's a
whole.
lot that they're gonna need to, like, there's I just feel it's like they've got so much that maybe they just need to kind of, you
Yeah, and
know
also too, apparently Yelena Belova is gonna have a cameo in the movie.
yeah, there's a lot.
I'm like,
I
I mean, cool. Just wonder how she's gonna fit in the story, but sure, why not?
I think in some ways it has a lot more to do with, again, like this kind of the cameo stuff. Make sure the cameo stuff is just selling like this, because how do I say it? Like, um, everything we've gotten out of, in recent years out of Marvel has been like cameo fest, like cameo city. And I think that's a thing is like they're not doing standalone movies as much anymore. They're doing like team up films,
Hmm. Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of what they're doing here. Like, why is the Punisher in this movie? Like is in not Daredevil? Like, okay, we're getting the Punisher, and like, but then also next year we're getting that Punisher one off, which
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
apparently they were shooting the Punisher special presentation, paused that. John Bernthal went over and shot for a couple days on Spider-Man, and then went back and finished up the special presentation. So like that's all wrapped up. And then I think whatever they're doing,
I
Disney.
think Punisher is there because he is tied to Spider-Man historically. He first appeared in a Spider-Man comic book. That was his
Mm,
first appearance. Plus, two, if you're going to tell a street level story, like very much a grounded Spider-Man story, it makes sense that at least one of those grounded street level characters would pop up. Now, why is it Punisher and not Daredevil? Maybe it's because Punisher ties more into the themes of the story, maybe. Maybe they're gonna come at odds because Peter doesn't like what Punisher is doing. He doesn't want to like kill these people. Maybe he wants to bring them to justice his way.
Yeah.
You could be something with that, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, either way, I think it's. I mean, I after the success of No Way Home,
I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
it's
it's
going to do
gonna be
very well.
huge. It's gonna be huge, yeah.
And Spider Man, just in general, like Spider Man, like Batman, just kind of,
Prince money.
yeah. Was there's a hold on here. There's R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead movie lands October release.
Like Pumpkinhead, or like
No, it's Tubi is set to launch director Jem Gerard's film that is inspired by Stein's The Haunting Hour.
oh, so
Uh,
it's not the actual Pumpkinhead that we know.
no, they call well they say here R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead is a playful blend of good fun, big scares with an element of adventure that taps into everything audiences love about Halloween and young adult horror. So why do they call it?
Literally, anything
Oh
else
no,
except
I think it's called like let me see here. Um Pumpkinhead is what is it? Okay. Is a new original horror. I think they're calling it R.L. Stein's Pumpkinhead is what it's called, but it's based on The Haunting Hour,
hmm.
which
Okay, it's a little.
is yeah, Pumpkinhead is the 5th episode of the 2nd season of the TV show R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour, the series. It's based on the short of the same name from Nightmare Hour. What the fuck? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what they've been doing with. I mean, I know they had the 2 seasons of Goosebumps that got canceled on Disney Plus, and then I don't know. I just saw this online. Crazy. Okay. I know I'm getting tired. I got to kind of wind it down. But let's see. H Bart's here for $2. Thank you. Says stop hating Isabella Merced. Not hating, just pointing out facts. Also, H Bart says Adria Arjona needs to be Wonder Woman or Gunn is a failure. I can see her doing it.
Yeah,
You know, she currently is
possibly.
dating Lobo, so you know.
I think they'll probably cast Wonder Woman probably sometime next year. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
I could
Next
see
year.
that being like a San Diego Comic Con sort of thing. You know, I could see that being like a big announcement then. You know, because if they're because if Marvel's having trouble, then oh, fuck, DC could come in for the win. So and they could definitely do it here. And then also Mo here, member for 40 months. Shame that Matt doesn't show love for Shin Godzilla. I mean, like, okay. I've never seen Shin Godzilla. So, have you seen Shin Godzilla?
I have not. No, I hear great things. I do want to watch it. It's definitely a very different kind of Godzilla movie, though. It's much more slower burn, political, but with some great sequences, though, of course. So, kind of takes a look at like it's like very much a political commentary kind of movie about like Japan's response to the 2011 tsunamis. I think
Oh,
so.
okay. Oh well, apparently, okay. So going back and looking up this Haunting Hour thing, it was a series. It had 4 seasons. Started in 2010, and then maybe went to 2012, and then was resurrected. I think. Nope, 2014. I don't even know what the hell's going on. That's what I hate when some of these ads, some of these articles are like, "Oh, it's R.L. Stein. All right, cool." And then like, what is it? It's a show on Tubi.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, like, maybe I'll watch it. We're getting into spooky season, so show my kids something that's going to be kind of fun. that's not going to scare the crap out of him. So, but I think, have I ever? Oh, did I see Exists? Yeah, I watched it. I watched it about a week ago, actually. Last week I watched Willow Creek, Bigfoot, The Lost Coast Tapes, and Exists. And do you know what Exists is, RJ? Have you ever heard of that one?
Oh, wait, what?
The movie Exists. Terrible name. It's a terrible name. It's a found footage movie about a group of people that go out to a cabin in the woods, and they start getting stalked by Bigfoot.
No, I've not seen that.
And it's from one of the directors of the Blair Witch Project, Eduardo Sanchez. It came out. Dude, you watch Willow Creek too? Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, I got in on a Bigfoot craze last week. But it's pretty good. I was actually really impressed with Exists. And it is like, it's definitely got a lot of good moments in it. The acting's pretty decent. And I don't know, ending's kind of whatever, but some of those movies are hard to end. But I will say though, the ending to Willow Creek was really fucking good. So I thought Willow Creek. You really didn't care for Willow Creek? Oh man, I liked Willow Creek, but we could talk about that later on. Willow Creek is one. It's from you don't know I don't think you would know the actor Bobcat Goldthwait.
Sounds familiar.
You ever see the Police Academy movies?
I think I've seen one of them a while ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He was like the motorcycle gang leader in like number 2, and then he became a cop. And he's got like the manic voice. Like he directed a few movies. He did one called World's Greatest Dad with Robin Williams, and it's such a fucked up movie. Okay, like it's got the kid Daryl Sabra, whatever his name is, from Spy Kids, ends up autoerotic asphyxiating himself and dying, and his father is Robin Williams, who is a teacher at the high school where he went, and then everyone is like all upset that the kid died, and so then something happens where like they find his notebook and they think he's like some troubled soul, you know what I mean? Like he speaks to them through death, and it's like the dad wrote the notebook because like he had said that the son was a writer or something. I forget exactly how it happened, but his dad's a writer who never got any. Robin Williams is a writer who never got published, and so he uses his son's death to like manufacture this like very thoughtful notebook. And then he keeps basically going like, yeah, there's more stories to come. There's more stories to come. And it's a dark, twisted comedy. So yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, Blargan. Oh, you mentioned Boggy Creek. Dude, I was talking to the H-Barts and he recommended or he had asked me if I've seen The Legend of Boggy Creek. Dude, that movie, I turned it off. This is the 1978 documentary, like mockumentary type thing about the legend of Boggy Creek, about some Bigfoot creature out there in like, I think like Alabama, it's in Texarkana, like that area, like Arkansas and shit. And it's from the director of The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is a really good grindhouse film. And then this one is like, it's like an old nature documentary about like life in this. It was so boring. I turned it off like 38 minutes in because I looked at it. I'm like, there's another 45 minutes. I'm like, I'm not wasting that time. So that's why I watched Bigfoot, The Lost Coast Tapes. It's just fucked up. Like
yeah.
You watched Abominable, which is fantastic. I haven't seen it. Rear Window with Sasquatch Yeti. No shit. Is it on Tubi? Because I know Exists was on its way off of Tubi, because that's one of the reasons why I watched it. Dude, Tubi is so much fun. Tubi is so much fun to just fucking like to turn on and just go, all right, click. The weird one I saw recently was have you watched that War of the Worlds with Ice Cube?
I did actually, yes. I watched that a few weekends ago, just for shits and giggles.
Dude, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad, though.
It's pretty bad, but it's also, in some cases, so bad it's good. Because, like, imagine if they would remove the aliens, and it just would have been, like, a story about government interference. Like what if it was like Watch Dogs, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Uh, yeah, it was pretty bad though. Like, oh my, like there's some parts in it that are like, but it is so bad. It's kind of funny in some parts. Other parts you're just like, what the hell am I watching? Like, how is this a real movie?
oh, what cracked me up though was the whole thing when they needed to send the USB drive.
Yeah, and like the whole movie felt like an Amazon commercial made with the freaking
and
Amazon
and
logo.
they are adamant. The producers are adamant that they made that movie when it was still with Universal, because Universal
There
paid
was
the
no
money,
way.
and that the Amazon product placement was just a coincidence.
Yeah, bullshit.
There's like
I call
like
bullshit.
like what about the homeless guy where they hack into his phone and they're like, "Yo, if you go flip over that drone, we'll give you a $50 Amazon gift card." And he's like, "Nah, man." And they're like, "What if it's $1,000?"
Yeah, bullshit.
It
It's
was
such bullshit.
the stupidest thing. And then like it's a sealed building. How did he get the USB drive again?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot there, lot to process with the War of the Worlds. I liked it for what it was. I had fun. I also watched it while I was on break at work. So I sat in the Mercedes van and I just brought it up and I watched it on the tablet. I'm like, all right. But it's the fact that it existed, the fact that it got made. And then it was, but did you see like how many people watched it on Amazon?
A fair amount, right?
Yeah, it was like fucking 70 some million people watched it.
Well, when it's free to click on and watch, I mean, the only thing you have to spend is your time.
Yeah, basically. I mean, sure, that's like the one resource you'll never get back, but yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why I like Tubi. It's like I can go and I can go and watch some of these films that are just like low quality. Okay, you know what one of the ones I kind of wanted to do, like I feel bad for not talking about, but I probably should have. Did you hear about what happened with the oh god damn, what's it called? It's a found footage. Oh, Hell House. Have you ever heard of the Hell House franchise?
I think I have. It sounds familiar.
It's so Hell House is a like Hell House LLC
Mhm.
is a I'm just gonna look up the movie that came out. It's called Lineage, right? And so it is a movie that a franchise that's all point of view found footage. And the first one came out in like what was it, 2015, and it's pretty good. Like, as far as found footage movies go, I liked it. But they made a lot. They made a lot of those movies. They made I think they've done 4 or 5 of them now. And they're all point of view found footage with the exception of Hell House LLC Origins. No, sorry, that was the 2023 movie. I'm thinking of Hell House Lineage. And this one is not a point of view found footage. This one is a it's like a standard shot movie. Except that it got really, really, really bad reviews. And the producer of the movie went on Facebook and basically was asking people to leave good reviews of the film. Right? Or if they're going to be negative, at least be constructive. Like seriously. The producer of the movie
Jesus.
fucking had a goddamn meltdown about it. And then like people were giving him shit over it. And he came back and he's like, yeah, well, people are at least like talking about the movie and shit. And I'm like, yeah, but if your whole franchise is based around, if your whole franchise is based around found footage and you go and you do a narrative, it's like Blair Witch was found footage. Blair Witch 2 was a narrative feature, and it's like, and then no one looks at Blair Witch 2 and goes, that was good. Like, no one really cares about it.
Yeah, no one really ever talks about it, really. Not like the first movie.
Yeah. So it is kind of funny, how like this guy, if this is a month ago, okay, producer of new Hell House movie telling fans not to leave bad reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Like legit. Like when have you ever seen a producer go out there and be like, fucking don't do it. I will say one of the producers of War of the Worlds was giving an interview recently, and he was talking about the movie, and he goes like, nobody sets out to make a bad movie. That's what he was saying. Like nobody sets out to make a bad movie. And then he's like, not trying to say that they made a bad movie, but they shot it during COVID. And like they shot it like they shot
Why
it.
did it take this long to come out?
So, well, it took them a couple years to do all the visual effects work. And I'm like, but this movie is rumored to have a $65 million budget, which I don't think that it has.
There's no way it does.
No,
The effects look so cheap.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ice Cube is rumored to have made like, I think, 3 to 5 million to be in the movie.
I could see that, yeah.
And then like Eva Longoria got like 1 to 2 million to be in the movie.
She's barely in it.
She's barely in it, exactly. And then, like you've got like the young actors that are going to get shit to be in the movie, but they're like the primary part. And then you got to admit though, the Amazon delivery driver guy was kind of the goat of the film, like,
Yeah, that was the guy from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Wait, was that Roderick?
That was Roderick, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man, that's crazy. The Last Broadcast, 1998. Fuck yeah. Azteca brings up an oldie but a goodie. It was that movie was actually a found footage movie that came out prior to Blair Witch Project. But Blair Witch came out in the summer of 99 and blew up, and The Last Broadcast came out on VHS in like the fall of that year. And it's a solid movie. The ending though, I mean, come on, can anyone here defend the ending of that movie? I don't think so. The ending just goes like, you're following along, and you're like, I really wonder where this is going because it's really interesting and compelling. And then it's like left turn out of nowhere, right? Just I'm talking like fucking left turn off a cliff. And you're like, what the fuck was that shit? And I've watched that movie like a bunch of times, and it's like, and also, do you know what the budget of that movie was? $900.
Wow.
In 1997 or whatever. And it was also, according to the Wikipedia, it was also the very first movie that was streamed digitally to theaters. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's like, it's wild. Some of these fucking movies. I'm not watching Shin Godzilla, Mo. You need to stop talking to me about it. I will watch Godzilla -2, and you can fuck off. You saw it when it premiered on Cinemax. That's old, man. But you still, come on, like the ending of that movie. Can you defend the ending of that movie? I don't think so. So. Because, well, it's a documentary about these guys who go missing in the woods. And, like, they're presumed dead. And they're presumed to be killed by the Jersey Devil, the cryptid. And so it's a documentary about that. And then it just fucking just goes out like just out the window at 90,000 miles an hour. Like, what the fuck? And it's one of the worst oh my God. It's one of the worst, like, I don't want to say what it is without talking about it, but it's just like, if I remember it correctly, it's like, you remember like the old computer games from the 90s that had the FMVs where they needed to add somebody in and it was meant to be a quick cut, but they just kind of digitized them in the scene, like through like the pixelated fading. It's like that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's like that. I almost want to see if I can find it and show you. just because the Last Broadcast ending. Let's see. Let's see here. Do they have it up there? Oh, they got the full movie up on here. Let me find it real quick. Because I really like it, and it's one of those things. I did not see the trailer for The Rip starring Ben Affleck. Who's directing that one though? It's not Affleck, but they got a decent director.
It's Matt Damon.
There we go. Okay, hold on. All right. Apparently I don't have anyone else on the scene. Okay.
Let's see.
Let me bring this up here and try to just find is this the... Okay, so it's like here. Wait, no, go back. All right, so this is the documentarian.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy filming the movie.
Okay.
Okay, so
Orders. That Locus and Ryan Clacken were actually alive at the time they were ostensibly killed, and that the police case was shoddy at best. What is the Jersey Devil? It's a man wandering into the Pine Barrens never to be seen again. It's a mangled animal found on one of these access roads. Or perhaps it's something that rests within our psyche and we'll never truly understand. I've been on this project for months now and haven't come to a clear definition of what actually happened or who was responsible. All I know is that it's a mystery and it may permanently remain so. What is the Jersey Devil?
So this is supposed to be like what they think is like the killer, right?
It looks like
the,
him.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Shelley announces that a face will be identifiable in the early afternoon. So like the woman working on the frames from the video footage of the guys who died in the woods. Right? It's agreed that the authorities will be notified immediately following the documenting of this event, right?
I'm now outside of Shelley's studio. All the media, all the interviews. The truth comes down to this one frame.
There's like nobody here. But the media's
Yeah,
all over.
it just goes into like this weird. See?
What the hell? So he's the killer?
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
It just goes out the fucking deep end after that, and then he just gets up and
City to carry them through. I think that the replayment of our events here will be quite compelling in the demonstration of Seward's innocence.
Thing goes back to Philly.
so this was a documentary beforehand, and now it's cut to a narrative thing where he's like middle of the day dragging a body out of the house.
Yeah. No.
Right? And then
Nobody
like
can see or do.
and then he just drives off of it.
This site is a close approximation of the one chosen by Stephen Locus as the site of their fact-fiction Jersey Devil broadcast. This site is a close approximation of the one chosen by Stephen Locus as the site of their fact-fiction Jersey Devil broadcast. They'd chosen a clearing similar to this one as base camp and then ventured into the Pine Barren with their camera. This site is a close approximation of the one chosen by Stephen Locus as the site of their fact-fiction Jersey Devil broadcast. They'd chosen a clearing similar to this one as base camp and then ventured into the Pine Barrens with their cameras to find Jersey. This site is a close approximation of the one chosen by Stephen Locus as the site of their fact-fiction Jersey Devil broadcast. They'd chosen a clearing very similar to this one as base camp.
See, basically, and this is where the movie ends. It's like up until like what we were looking at, it was actually pretty fucking good. In Search of Two.
It's horrible.
Well, yeah. It's like, did you see the part though? Like what, like right here, when he sees it,
Yeah.
and no, but like he just jumps right into the frame. Let's say like right here, he just fades in. Like imagine you're watching the movie, you're an hour and 17 minutes in, and then all of a sudden it just cuts to this.
U-turn, yeah.
And the next like fucking 5 minutes, you're just, what the fuck did I watch? And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, let it play out one more time, because like these cuts are just so bad.
Yeah, I'll go back 10 seconds.
Like, look at these cuts. So bad. Like, that is atrocious. Yeah, that's atrocious.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, you go to the yeah, I mean, look at like, well, you know, executive judge here says like, yeah, the cuts kill the immersion, right? Because that's the whole thing. Like, you go from a documentary to now to a narrative, and that just kind of fucks everything up, right? So then, like, you get to here, I'll show you this, right? So this is, hold on, this is In Search Of. So this is my movie, right? And you know, so we do the cut, and Mark is fucking tied up, right? And then we get this like long fucking monologue with my dumbass. So like it's solid fucking 10 minutes. But
Wake up! Hi! How's it going? Feeling good? That's great. Don't struggle. Look, hey, buddy, shh, calm. Struggling only. It's only gonna hurt more. Calm
Yeah,
down.
this is cinema,
Calm
baby.
down.
This is
How's it going?
certified hood classic.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, no.
you know what's
No.
funny? It's funny about this scene right here, outside of the fact he's got fat tits, is that we used like painters. We made this up in like 20 minutes. The lights that we use were just old like painter lights that I just had, but it works. Because anyway, look, I mean, I think it cuts
I do
here,
that.
right?
You don't want to do that. I don't want to fucking do that. Ah, looks good. That's right. Get angry. I'm fine with that. Yeah. Do you want to know why you're here, Mark? Is that it? Yeah.
I'm gonna monologue like Syndrome and shit. See, but look, right? Even here for the last shot of the film, like for the immersion factor, we don't do a cut. Right? It cuts to him tied up. I do the whole fucking thing, right? Where I'm walking around, I'm talking about it. It's terrible all the way through. And then, you know, I get the back.
I don't. Look. It's not.
It's so fucking bad.
Nah, that's cinema, man. That's a certified hood classic. You don't diss that.
It is. But it's like, I mean, the idea there is if he had better actors, I think it might be a little bit better. But it's, you know, it just ends with like, we kept the immersion the whole time is really what I'm trying to say is like, you know, because
Yeah,
I was
like some crazy jump cuts with some editing. And he's kept us still.
No, it's like this movie was heavily inspired by Blair Witch and by The Last Broadcast. Because like when I first saw The Last Broadcast, what did this guy do to deserve this? He voted for Trump. I mean, yeah, clearly. Let's see here. What sucks is you can change to a narrative style in a movie that's found footage and make it work. Cannibal Holocaust did it perfectly with how it's structured. I mean, yeah, but if you're going to plan to do that, I have a feeling with the ending of The Last Broadcast, it was more like we need an ending, so here's an ending. You know, it's like the idea here with this shot or with this scene was like, I needed an ending. I had an empty garage to use. I'm going to kill Mark. That was kind of it. Let's see, Matt wearing a polar bear costume and dancing to Goodbye Horses. Yeah. The Last Broadcast definitely felt like a twist for the sake of it. Yeah. I really hope with In Search Of, like quality aside, I really hope that it doesn't feel like the twist at the end was just a twist because of. You know, it's like, I would like to think that, like, at least in my mind, my character had to get out of trouble. And so I used my friend's loneliness as a way to do it. You know, and then I just get maniacal at the end. Because it's power, right? The whole thing's power. Having that control. Now, I'll tell you this. Did you guys ever see the very end credits of the movie?
The very end credits?
Yeah. Have you ever watched this? Have you ever seen this at all?
Seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You should watch it. So basically at the end here, right? I'm talking to him.
Sorry. Had to be this way.
So
Yeah. Well, fuck you too. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Go to sleep, goddammit.
see, so here's the thing with this, right? We actually had a long conversation about how to suffocate him, right? Because he is tied to the chair. He is legitimately tied to the chair. And I have a bag wrapped over his fucking head. We don't have a cut in it. It's the fucking trash bag, right? And so we like I forget how long he said to do it, but it was literally just like, you know, like it was that whole thing of like, don't fucking kill me. You know, like because this is all method, man. I was joking him with this shit. I was keeping an eye on it, but it's just like to keep the whatever the flow of everything else. Because I should point out, we never rehearsed anything. It's probably obvious by the level of acting in this that we never rehearsed anything, but we never rehearsed it. We just went out and we did it. Well, anyway, so here, you know, he dies, right? And then it's, you know, I just kind of like let it linger on that. And then, you know, right? Like that's a good little shot right there at the end, right? That's kind of creepy, you know?
Yeah,
You
see
come
that.
here to the very, very, very end. All right. Oh, by the way, you see this here, Elizabeth? Thank you for letting me kill you, and I'm sorry for really posting the ad on Craigslist. That's also real. That's also. I'll tell you more about that here in a second. But anyway, you know, these are everyone who like donated money. Because I actually ended up raising $500 in a day to shoot this movie.
Wow.
Like, yeah. I went on Facebook. I was like, I'm shooting a movie. I need like $500, and I raised like $500 in like a day, to get everything. I also found my. Oh yeah, watch this.
We done.
So there's a stinger at the end of the fucking movie.
We're done.
There's a post-credit scene. You know, I'll probably end up cutting that out at some point. But I did find the original hard drive that has all the original footage on it. I did find that. You know. So the authorities are still looking for this actor. He got married 10 years ago. He's with his wife now. Good thing you weren't yeah, no one knew I was doing this shit. It's good stuff, man. I miss making movies. I miss the days. I miss the old days of just going out and shooting something for the sake of shooting it. So need a 4K remaster of this masterpiece. I could get Topaz Labs and probably go through and do it. What I would need to do is I would need to probably like, because everything was shot in 720p. And the reason why was because the camera we were using at the time, because this movie is now 15 years old. Can you believe that? We were using an old, I think, Panasonic HVX. The last broadcast I've been in search of. Here's the thing, upscale it. Would you guys, honest to God, if I were to come out with a crowdfunding campaign for In Search of 2, no, not so much In Search of 2, but just like another, because I've got ideas. I've got ideas that I could do, and I got the technology to do it. Would you guys want to see that? I think some people would do it just so they could laugh at it. All right. You sound like you're falling asleep, RJ.
No, I'm fine. Probably.
Spherical Man and Mo, yeah. Look, man, here's the thing: is like while I'm out on this cruise. So you know, you know where I'm going? Did I tell you where I'm going?
Alaska?
No, I'm going to Hawaii.
Oh, wow, nice.
So we depart Friday morning, and we are going to be on a cruise ship for 15 days. And my work is surprisingly okay with it. Actually, they're not. They're kind of mad at me, which is why I'm working tomorrow to you know, help them out. No, they're cool. They're totally cool with it. They're actually like really excited. My supervisor, actually, we had these door prizes, because we had a company barbecue for Labor Day, and they had gone out, got all these door prizes and shit. And one of the guys won one and then didn't want it. So I go into work the other day and my boss is like, "Hey, I got these water bottles. Would your daughters like them for Hawaii?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." It's like, "Okay, great. Yeah, we make sure they they can use them when they're on the ship and whatever, and and they care. Like they were asking me, like they want to see pictures and they want to, they've met my kids, they like my kids, and I like the company I work for is really what I'm trying to say. I work for a good company. And so I'm just anxious to, to kind of go and do it. I'm going to work on some stories and work on some writing while I'm out. And I got 15 days of I did just spend, do you know how much it costs for internet on a cruise ship?
Too much.
Too fucking much, man. I spent $330 for internet for the 2 weeks.
330?
330. And that's not even their
Jesus.
top tier package. That's their mid tier package.
Jesus.
It would have been closer to 400 because it's about like $22 a day.
That's
a day
ridiculous.
for Starlink. Yeah, I know. It's fucking insane. But I figure it's like I the stuff I do for writing, I do use AI to help brainstorm, so I got to have access to that, and then keep up on stuff and everything else. And that's, I mean, I've tried doing a cruise without access to the internet. I go insane. Like I'm there to relax, obviously, but I can't disconnect. So, I mean, maybe
It's hard to, yeah, it's hard.
Hold on, Luthen here. Says, so we're all in agreement that the big Peacemaker twist is that the other world is a Nazi universe. Well, I mean, James Gunn already basically confirmed it, but yeah.
Did he though?
He did. Yeah, he did. He made a comment, I think on Threads the other day. Someone had made a comment about the alternate universe, and he's all like, "Have you noticed you don't see any person that's of color?"
No, I don't think he said that. I think someone else did.
I
He's
thought he
never
said
said
it.
anything about it.
Because I saw that, and then I was just like, and then I was
Well,
watching.
people have been speculating that for one, you don't see any people of color, but also anytime there's a shot of the American flag, you don't see the actual full flag. You don't see like the stars, and you only see the stripes. So people are thinking it might be like a Nazi symbol on the flag.
Well,
Because
yeah,
something's got to give. Something's got to be like wrong with that universe.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's going to be very interesting once once ads shows up, right? And they're going to be like,
It's a black woman.
it's a black woman. We got rid of all that. Instead of a Superman, it's going to have a giant swastika on his chest. Oh shit! What if they actually get David Cornsweet to play Nazi Superman?
Oh, I don't know. They could do that.
I mean, they're in charge. They do what they want.
I guess that's true.
All right. Thanks, Spherical Man. I'll probably be live again on Thursday night because I work tomorrow, but then I have Thursday off, and I'm pretty much like, I'm already like 90% packed. So it's just, getting through all that nonsense. Because packing for a long trip sucks, man. You got to figure out like everything. So. But yeah, it's let's see here. It's like 1:40 in the morning. So yeah, I'm gonna close it out, dude. I'm gonna close it out.
Alrighty.
But thanks for popping on. Go back, get some sleep. Go teach children.
Yeah.
Teach them the importance of free speech.
Yeah.
Or go play video games. I don't know.
Maybe I'll go do that.
Helldivers is down. I can't even play Helldivers right now.
It's down, really?
Well, what's been happening this is like not like today. It happened like the last 2 days. There's something going on where it's like I can't join another game. And then if I do a solo run, it's like easier because like it's like not respawning the enemies as fast, or it feels like they're not responding as fast. And then any of the samples, experience, and money that I get on my run, I don't get any of that. And so it's like, well, fuck you. Like, why am I wasting all this time trying to play this? I mean, it is fun and I do like it, but it's, I need samples to buy more stratagems so I can blow up more shit. So what do we get? Live action Overman before Kingdom comes through? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. But all right, everybody, have yourself a good night. Thank you all, and bye.